Double 11! Amazing prices! Amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Lowest prices, incredible benefits.
Hello, hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Queen Legacy Series, Season 1, and this is Day 11. And tonight we have Daytona Guys versus Queen Slayers, which is gonna face off against each other. And tonight, joining me will be a new face, a new caster, which is none other than our guy Buldudu. How are you feeling, Buldudu? Would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Well, thanks for having me here. It's been a pleasure to finally host, a cast at Wardrums. And starting off with none other than the Queen's Legacy. It's good to see that it's a nice initiative to see that you have these many teams of female players who are actually ready. And in fact, I've seen them perform better than some of the male pro teams. So with that being said, we're already into a game with between Dekona guys and Queen Slayers.
Yep,
And
yep.
Dekono guys will be given a point because of the delay by Queen Slayers. So this best of three has taken an interesting turn of events because Dekono guys has already secured match points for themselves simply by showing a little discipline. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate, but rules are rules. So if you're gonna be late and you're not gonna comply with the rules, you'll have to face the consequence. So now, this is a best of three, and out of three games, now we are left with two games. And Dekona guys, they already won a first game, so they have the first point. But yeah, Baldudu, talking about the draft, though, we can already see that, Dekona guys and Queen Slayers, they've already banned a lot of heroes, and they're already into the first phase of the picking. And yeah, we can already see Dekona guys coming up with the Grok pick, which is a solid initiator, a great crowd control tank. And as for Queen Slayers, they're going off with the Carmilla, which is one of the favorite heroes for the females to to play in the roaming section. And a very very interesting pick coming up here from Queen Slayers, a Leslie pick there.
Okay, and the Leslie pick is a little interesting, man, because there were a lot of options open. You had the Yi Sun Shin, you had the Arlott. There were a lot of options open, but maybe they want someone who can actually like chunk down that Grok, because the only way Grok is gonna really be able to get melted is either if you have a DHS pick like Moscow, or you give a lot of true damage, which is what Leslie is there for. But it
Yeah.
is a little early to pick up Leslie because I don't think it's going to be banned or contested in any way. So I feel like there might be an error coming in from Queen Slayers over there. But speaking of the rest of that draft, the Zujian and Beatrix being picked up, and I mean that's a very aggressive lineup that Dekona guys is fielding right now. They've gone in for a very hot. That's a very hot draft coming in because you have the Beatrix with four options on her various, with her utility. So she can use the Renners to hold her own in the lane. She also has Nibiru's passion to sync well with Grok's unstoppable charge.
Yeah, very nice synergy indeed with the Grok's tectonic charge and the Nibiru passion. But yeah, I feel like this time around, Dekona guys, they have such a solid pick because they have managed to pick the Jujin, which is going to be really really troublesome. Against heroes like Carmilla or Leslie, they do not have any dashes. So once you're caught in that lantern flare, you are, doomed to be stunned mid-air and pulled toward the enemy. But yeah, talking about Queen Slayers here, they're going for a very interesting lineup here because if we talk about the draft so far of Queen Slayers, they have the Carmela and the Vixana, which is a really good combo. She can deal immense crowd control in team fights, and the chain that is gonna that's gonna be initiated by the Curse of Blood from the Carmela is gonna be good in team fights. But yeah, you have to really watch out for that. But yeah, talking about Dekona guys, I feel they can easily avoid that because there is so much mobility on their hand. Biru, I mean, not Nibiru, the Beatrix actually. She has dashes and she can definitely avoid the Curse of Blood. And as for the Fusion as well, she has the Crimson Beacon, which is a small dash. So yeah, that can be used as a safe tool as well. But yeah, talking about Queen Slayers, I feel like, they are going for a very, very risky draft here. Of course, they have good lane clearance coming up in the mid lane, which is the Vixana, and as well as the Carmilla, which is going to be tanking for the team. But then, talking about the Carmilla, she's not a great tank that has a lot of a crowd control kit. Instead, she's more of a support that is very, very item reliant because without items, she on her own, she's not tanky compared to the Grok. And as for the Leslie, very, very, very reliant on the items, so you have to really build up those items, and that is where your damage starts coming online. But yeah, Baldudu, talking about the ban here, we can already see the second ban, second phase of the ban is already completed, and we can
Mm.
see the Ruby and the X-Ball ban as well as the Phobius and Alucard. So these are quite reasonable bans coming up from both sides of these teams, are looking really good here.
And yep, I mean, very valid bans coming in. Ruby is also Ruby and Borg both are there, really good to zone out and put pressure on that guard. Sorry, on the Grok and the Zujin, because the Grok has his immunity through his passive right now in the new with his revamp that has come in. So Ruby and Borg both can like chip down that shield to little to nothing in a very quick amount of time. In the sides of Queen Slayers, I think the Phobius ban is a little confusing because if you're going in for the alpha anyway, you could have just done with the Alucard ban, because the alpha does really well in against the Foveus, in fact, because with this alpha charge, he can like pull Foveus into whatever position he wants him to, lock him down away from the rest of his team if required, or pull him in towards his team for Karimla to give the link. So there might be a little. I feel like there have been two unnecessary bans coming in. At the same time, I'm kind of confused as to why they went for the the Vexana over the Farsa. If you really wanted to sync with the Carmilla, do you think is there's a reason? Maybe they want to sync it up with their final pick. They might be cooking something in the EXP lane, probably a Yuzong, or is it something else altogether?
I mean, talking about the Vixana, I feel like overall she is a very great mage, and in the current meta, she's quite underrated. She has great bursts, and the Eternal Guard always comes in handy when it comes to zoning and dishing out damage. And talking about the Farsa, though, I feel like the Farsa could be really risky because she is very stationary during the Feather of Heaven, and that is where the Grok can just basically charge in and disrupt her, and be maybe even take her down. So I feel like the Farsa, considering the fact that she is a stationary mage, makes her a little troublesome to pick in this kind of a draft. But yeah, at the same time, we can already see that Dekona guys, they are cooking with a very interesting draft here. We can see that they have picked a Julian. That Julian is definitely going to be the jungler, and as well we have we can see that there is a Uranus. So the Uranus here is going to be the EXP, but Baldudu. What is catching me off guard right now here?
Is
It's
that
the
higher boost?
yeah, the Hayabusa. I mean, man, I thought the Alpha was going to be the jungler, but no, they're cooking something else. They are going for a Hayabusa jungle EXP Alpha. I did not see this coming. But yeah, it seems like, Queen Slayers here, they are really going for comfort picks, if I'm not wrong, because, the kind of a draft that they have cooked, I don't feel like it synergizes well. Because the only
True that.
people right now I can see, from the side of Queen Slayers that can carry the game is going to be the Hayabusa. And rest of the
Definitely.
team, they're not even going to deal any damage in the early mid game, as well as the Leslie, because the Leslie is so reliant on the items. She really needs those items, and her item build, it is quite expensive. Completing that at least will take about 15 to 20 minutes.
Definitely, and that is not counting if she, and that is if she's having a smooth game where she's not really been ganked too many times,
Indeed.
where she's able to hit her laning phase comfortably. So the Leslie is not gonna be in the picture apart from like pushing lanes and hitting turrets for quite a while. And that aside, the only way the early game could be Queen Slayers is if they could manage, the Carmilla gives an absolutely beautiful set. If Sin is able to drop a really great setup, maybe this game, the first turtles might go over to the side of Queen Slayers. But purely in terms of draft, with that Grok, Uranus, and Zujin, the zone game is all in the name of Dekona guys right now.
Yep, and yeah, with that, guys, we are already into the game. This is game number 2. Dekona guys versus Queen Slayers. If you're not aware, Dekona guys already have 1 point on their table because Queen Slayers, they had a bit of a delay. So according to the rules, if you're delayed, there will be a point that will be given to the opposing side. So yeah, with Dekona guys, they easily secured 1 point now, and there are just 2 matches left. So if Queen Slayers, they do not win this game, it is basically going to be considered a clean sweep. So Queen Slayers, they really have to give out their best and win this game, because if not, it's going to be a clean sweep. But then again, look at this Baldudo on the top. What is going on
Oh
here?
no! Queen bit off a little more than she could chew, went in a little too aggressive, and will pay the price for it. And with that, Dekona guys, along with setting the first point, also pick up the first kill of this game. Very interesting. I mean, that was not really expected. Coming in for a Leslie to be in that aggressive, that too against a Beatrix, who is arguably one of the better early game marksmen, especially in that gold lane stage. And already, look, there might be some more action. Sin gets caught out very low, forced to use the Petrify, backing off right now, using up that bloody flower. The Curse of Blood is not going to be active in this turtle fight just yet. the river boost has spawned. Do you think it is, correct for Mew to actually go contest this turtle, or is it better to just stay and play patient?
I mean, talking about Mio, she can definitely, use the quad shadow and try to steal the turtle. Because even if she misses the quad shadow, she can easily back off and she can use the Yugi kill. But yeah, looking at the game right now, we can see that there's so much zoning coming up from Dekona guys. And it seems like there's no space for Queen Slayer to actually contest the Lord. Oh my, what
Oh,
is going on?
and Hayabusa actually was managed to pick that kill up. She's going in for Telly. Will Telly be able to survive? No, she does not. As Miyu Mu will go in for some more. Will they make it 3? Yes, they do. Sin gets the kill onto Mariah. And with that, they get the invade on the red buff too. Queen Slayers might not be on time, but they show up when it's required, securing a turtle and invade along with 2 amazing kills at that turtle fight.
Yeah, they definitely got the best value out of that fight. I thought that, they won't be able to contest it, but somehow they managed to pull it off, and now they are on the lead. And talking about the Hayabusa, I feel like early game you have to be really aggressive and you always have to look for kills, which is gonna be the mage and the marksman. So this time around the Hayabusa has to snowball from those two. But yeah, talking about the EXP as well, the Uranus not quite tanky yet, so I'm not really I'm not really sure if the Uranus should actually fight off the Alpha in the early phase of the game, because the Alpha deals true damage, and the damage, you can't really underestimate it, even though it's an EXP. But yeah, Baldudu, look at the top here, another skirmish.
Okay, Carmilla with the beautiful curse of blood tries to go for another kill, but it's not going to be enough. They traded out Telly for Sin, and that is still in the favor of Team Queen Slayers. As right now, they've taken down the main icon, the jungler from the side of Dekona, guys. Telly will fall for the second time this game, and Julian is not having a great time in this land of Dawn.
They definitely do not have the best lead right now if we talk about Dekona guys, because the Julian is not able to get any kills and is just falling down too much in the early phase of the game already 2 times. So that is a big disadvantage for the jungle, and that's gonna create a lot of gap, especially when you're contesting the turtle. And with that, Baldudu, we can already see the second turtle of the game is spawning right up. And this time around, I feel like Queen Slayers might have an easier time because they are on the lead, and they have a better damage in the early game. So they really have to pressure Dekona guys as much as possible.
Okay, Mariah trying to zone away Mio. There might be a possible tectonic charge coming in. Who's gonna get the retribution? It's actually Mariah who steals it away from either of them. As Dekona guys turning this game around completely. The curse of blood being used up. There's a massive eternal guard catching up too. There is a lot of action going on, but surprisingly, except for Telly this time, no one falls once again. The fight is still ongoing. Sin in the deep of it all. A tectonic charge catches 3, baits out the flicker from Queen. The fight is still ongoing as the Alpha goes in with the Alpha charge. Will they get the kill? No, they do not. They somehow did not turn this game anywhere. Only 2 people have fallen, despite so many resources being baited out from either side.
Oh yeah, that is definitely what is going on here. But yeah, Baldudu, talking about Queen Slayers, I feel like they're trying to give their best here against Dekona guys, because they already know that they're 1 point behind. So if they lose this, they are gonna be they're gonna be losing this game tonight. So they're trying their best to put pressure and win the game and drag it to a game number 3. But as for Dekona guys, I feel like this time around they need more aggression and they need a better execution, because they have really good heroes. But yeah, look at the bot there. Oh my god, look at the Alpha.
Oh my god, he's sustaining like crazy. He might just get the clap back. No, he does not. At the final second, Telly will get that kill, and that gold allows her to get herself the feather. Oh no, Hayabusa, will he drop his ult? No, she does not manage to drop it in time. Miyu could have just gotten a double kill for herself, but sadly the minions were there for Dekona guys. Oh, tectonic charge with the beautiful wall coming in. The passion is not there because it is actually going to be Bennett who's going to get that kill. Beatrix on Bennett is going to get that kill. And I keep forgetting the name of the ultimate with Bennett, man. every single time. But with that aside, Queen again caught in a very risky position on top side, gets taken away by Kezia, and this game once again is finally even as Dekona guys have found their footing and they'll convert the first
Oh,
turret
look,
in their favor.
Mew. She's going in. She's going in. She's trying to look for a kill, but yeah, it's just gonna be Kazia who's gonna be backing off for now, and she's highly aware that the Hayabusa is lurking around, so she's not gonna risk it and overcommit on that third. But yeah, this time around, the third turtle of the game is already up. And let's see who's gonna be the one who's gonna take the turtle soup. But yeah, look at this. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Hayabusa going in. Who's he gonna get up? Oh, beautiful shadow, quad shadow coming in. The Uranus gets caught down very low. Massive tectonic charge catches onto three. Minxie get a kill onto the Alpha. They're still fighting. The Hayabusa with the beautiful OG shadow kill is not gonna be enough as they're gonna lose out 2 for 3. Telly has somehow fallen in the midst of all of that heat coming in as Mew will go in for an uncontested turtle as the members of Dekona guys losing all their front line, all their melee damage is forced to back off once again.
Yeah, I mean, this was really unfortunate for Dekona guys. Their draft is not actually working out the way they were trying to execute it. I feel like the Julian is a little off here because he's a short range hero, and there's just so much crowd
Oh
control
my
on the side
god.
of
Look at the damage
Quickly as
coming in from
well.
Leslie.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us were like, both of us estimated the Leslie will not be working out. But despite the few errors being committed, I mean, she's having a great time in this lane phase. I mean, look at how bad she's chunking down. But speaking of chunking down,
Ooh.
baits out the tectonic charge beautifully as she, but forced to, expend the flicker. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Uranus being zoned away from that turret. Will they convert it onto a mid? No, they do not. A curse of blood catches only one. It's not enough, but they get the kill as Queen will take out Telly for the fifth time this game. Telly is sent back to the base. Not a great game for the Julian. Her tempo is being disrupted constantly by Sin and Mew. Meanwhile, mid lane gets stolen away. Mao gets another kill. Mew, quad shadow in and out, in and out. She's used up all the shadows, forced to use up the OG shadow kill. The flicker being baited away. She's caught in the midst of it all as a mega kill gets taken up. Leish
Oh, is
jumped in
this
at the
wrong?
wrong time as a double kill given up to Keziah. And with that, the scoreboard once again is 11-11, the birthday of MOBA 5v5.
Oh my gosh, Baldudu, I feel like Mew, she actually chewed more than she could bite. I mean, she bite more than she could chew, and that caused a lot of things. But yeah, look at this. Another skirmish, another fight, and this time around it's gonna be another kill onto the side of Daycona, guys. It's just, the table, the scale, it's just turning left and right. There's just so much going on. Sometimes with Daycona, guys, sometimes it's Queen Slayer who's on the lead, and this time around, the Lord is gonna be taken down by Daycona, guys, before Mew even makes her way to the Lord here.
And I think both sides right now are getting caught up in the tempo of the other team because you can see like the way Telly has been going in aggressively. He's trying to follow the same format that Mew is going in, but Mew has the quad shadows to back out when required. Telly does not. Similarly, right after we saw Telly getting caught off a few times, it was instead Mew who goes in very aggressively, using up all the quad shadows, which is reminiscent of the mistake that Telly made. But look at that, they might see a beautiful set coming in. Clock does not land the tectonic charge on time, but it matters for not as the four members of Dekona guys will be converting a kill on the bot side along with that turret, as the Lord will also chunk down the mid turret by a significant portion.
Yeah, they are definitely getting so much value right now, but look at Mew. It seems like she's gonna go in and try to. Oh no, Mao, you did not position yourself well enough, and it cost your life. I feel like Mao should have actually pop up the flicker or the crimson beacon to get
The
into.
ult,
But
she would
yeah,
have
she did not
immuned
do
it.
that. Yeah,
It's okay. But I guess she was probably like waiting in for another major team fight, trying to save the ult. So I guess that was a tactical decision she has taken. But with that said, the scoreboard is still slightly in favor of Pepsi. Sorry, Dekona guys. Okay, that logo is very confusing. But yes, that's six turrets in their favor compared to the two on Queen Slayers. So while the goal lead is not too much in terms of the macro, in terms of the Lord secured, the Ikona guys finally have firmly controlled the opponent's side of the jungle too.
Yeah, I mean, the Icona guys, they have totally turned the table this time around despite losing so much in the early game. They are actually catching up really well against Queen Slayers, and the fact that, they managed to even build up a higher goal lead compared that to of Queen Slayers. They have made almost a 3K goal lead against Queen Slayers, but yeah, Baldudu, it seems like this time around we are gonna have a pause meta.
Okay, the pause is back once, and we'll have to see the both teams. While the tempo of the game will be slowed down, they will have some time. So we finally get to look through the item ones and walk us through what the magic is for the side of the Icona guys.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the itemization, we can clearly see that, the Beatrix, she has the highest goal lead right now. She has 9.1k goal compared to the Leslie, which is only about 8,000. So that is like 1.3k goal lead there that she has against the Leslie. And as for the itemization, I feel like this time around the Beatrix is doing really well, considering the fact that she has already built the BOD, followed by the Haskell, which is great for the damage and sustain. And also, she's going for a bit of a defensive item with that small rose gold meteor. And yeah, this time around, it seems like, she's also, the build is actually so, mixed, because I see one
No,
part
very
of the item,
haphazard.
yeah,
Very
but one part
haphazard.
of
She's
the
made three different
item is
items
like on the
already.
base. Yeah, and that's just a really tricky build. But yeah, if we talk about the Julian, on the other hand, I feel like this time around the Julian is starting to come online because the items are definitely there already. Three items build, which is the Feather of Heaven, the Concentrated, and the Wind Talker. So the itemization is really helping them out when the team fights, as well as dish out the damage. But we can see that the game has been resumed, and this time around there is a bit of a lag. Is the game actually resumed? Because I do not see anyone moving. Yeah, but this is just going to be a walkthrough from the battlefield. It's
Damn,
actually,
cinematic cut, cinematic edition pause.
yeah.
This is cinematic pause right now with the okay, that is a very interesting angle for the Hayabusa. But that aside, like you said, it's a very expensive build that Leslie's going for. And despite not building her POD, like she's almost there. She's like maybe 1,000 gold away from that last POD. She is still dealing a lot of damage. Grok is really struggling to sustain against her despite the amount of defense he's going in. And it looks like Grok might be going either for a Twilight, which I think would be better, or a Guardian helmet,
I
which
feel like talking about the Grok, she should definitely go for the Twilight because it's gonna help out in so many ways. It can reduce the true damage from the Leslie, as well as the burst that is going to come up from the Vixana, which is the Curse Blast. The Curse Blast deals absurd damage once she has the item, so that can help out for the burst from the Vixana as well. And yeah, talking about the itemization on Grog, we can already see that at this time around, it seems like she's going for the Guardian helmet instead, because we can see those two cloaks, which definitely is an item build for the Guardian helmet. But yeah, I feel like this time around, Linksy is also doing quite well, considering the fact that she has built two items. And yeah, I'm actually surprised that she has only one stack on the Thunderbelt there. That is not gonna help you out much. But yeah, it's gonna stack up throughout the game.
I
So
think it's a little too late to stack because the game has already
yeah,
hit like close to the 12, 13 minute mark because it's being counted even pause timer. So if we look at inside the 12-minute mark, you can't afford to get so close to anybody right now to be stacking.
indeed.
Because everyone's gonna be hurting. Even Sin, if she gets a good stun with the Curse of Blood, Lindsay does not have the Purify or the sprint required to bail out of there as soon as possible. It's only revitalize, and we know how well the burst potential is coming in from Mio and Capybara. So I feel like that was one item that they could really maximize on. So looking at what is left? What do you think is required for Queen Slayers to bounce back? Like, how do they need to turn this around? Because they need a lot of turrets, and nobody's been pushing.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Queen Slayers, the only thing they can do right now is look for the Beatrix because this time around, the Beatrix is the main win condition for the side of Dekona, guys. She is the one who's dealing the most amount of damage and actually bursting down the front lines from the side of Queen Slayers. And they really have to look out for Mao as well because Mao on that Fusion, she is putting so much pressure just with her presence. Like she does not even need to do anything. Her presence itself is a threat for them because there is just so many melee heroes onto the side of Queen Slayers, which is the Alpha, the Carmilla, and the even the Leslie. Even though she is a long range marksman, once she's caught in the lantern flare, it's gonna cause so much trouble, and might as well um, force out resources like Flicker. So that's there. So the Fusion and the Beatrix this time around are very crucial for Dekona, guys. And Queen Slayers, they have to watch out for them, so they have to take down these two heroes first, and the team fight they can easily win against a Julian or a Grok or a Uranus because these two heroes, the tanks, they have tankiness, but they don't have the damage for the team. And as for the Julian, a short range melee fighter, you can't really do much with a fighter. And yeah, Baldu, do look at this. Finally, we are back into the game. The game has been resumed, and let's see what turn of events we're going to see after the pause here.
Okay, so not much change going on. I guess with that 5 minute break, I guess Queen Slayers has had a pep talk because Queen is going it very aggressive. I think she's forgetting that this is a 13-minute mark, almost close to the 12-minute mark right now in the game. She cannot be going in that aggressively. And speaking of that, there is a wall. And rather than an actual set coming in from Mariah, I feel like it was like a warning that you should not be that cocky around a Grok. You might be able to deal a lot of damage, but you can't sustain as much as I can. So the Lord is up in the next 15 seconds. They might be looking for a camp on to Telly. The three people of Queen Slayers on the top and four of Dekona guys on the bot. Telly's trying to escape with his life. The Hayabusa Oishi Shadow kill is going to be used up.
Ooh,
And there is the kill as Queen nukes him down. And with that, the Lord control is firmly in the side of Dekona guys. Unless Queen Slayers is able to use a beautiful set to zone them away. Sorry, Dekona guys is able to use a beautiful set to zone them away. This is definitely the Lord of the Queen Slayers. But Lingzi trying to do her best, moving around, trying to buy some time. Queen with that damage. Oh god, it's like close. Oh my god, did he
Oh
use
my
out?
gosh, he's dealing absurd damage
Two
right there.
shots. Two
Yeah.
shots and the revitalizers popped. Okay, and with that, the Lord contest is underway. Queen is being zoned away from the Lord. Oh, the Curse of Blood catches two. This might just be the end. The Alpha catching three with the Alpha charge. The Tectonic charge being used up defensively at the Grok, but he won't be able to sustain. Queen is going to use the Ultimate Slipe any moment, does not use it just yet. Kezia, oh my god. Oh, beautiful Master of Camouflage coming in by Queen. Baits out
Yeah.
Keziah, gives them the shutdown. The only time the Beatrix has fallen. It has been the most crucial time. And that is a wipeout for Queen Slayers onto Dekona, guys.
I think this might be the green light for Queen Slaves to just go ahead and end the game because the only one standing right now is Telly, and I don't think Telly can do anything right now. She can't clear the lane, she can't sustain, she can't even get closer. Yeah, but it seems like the backup is up, and this time they might be able to defend this. But yeah, I feel like the big mistake that they made was actually sticking too close to each other because that is, what you want to avoid. You do not want to stick to one another because that opens a green light for the Curse of Blood. And that is exactly what we witnessed in the previous fight. Sin took the opportunity, she connected the Curse of Blood, and that was a beautiful kill onto the there. But you can see on
Oh,
top as
what's
well.
happening on the top side? What's happening on the top side? There's a lot of action. The OG Shadow Kill is going to be used up onto 4. Telly, you force the zone away. Keziah gets caught down very low. Will the ultimate snipe be used up? Nope, it's on cooldown. Lingzi again survives with his life. Oh my god, the burst from the Leslie. She gets her 8th kill for the game. The Lord not even up yet. Oh wait, actually the Lord got taken down if I'm not wrong.
Yep, it
Get to the ball.
definitely did. But look at Queen. She is dealing so much absurd damage right now. It's crazy. She's just bursting down every possible member that is still left alive.
Oh, okay, she's just going in for the base. She's just hitting the base as much as possible, but the
Oh, let's
Beatrix
go.
with a beautiful set onto the Bennett. The Rockets is just too much to sustain. Another kill for Maru as she gets on to Sin. They have to pick off Queen somehow because if Queen lands even a couple basic attacks onto the minion, onto the base, it might just be over for them. Someone has to make that blade armor as soon as possible
Oh
because
my god,
Queen is
look at
hearting like
that.
a ton right now. Takes in a little too much, goes in a little too greedy for the kill as Kazaya gets the shutdown onto her fellow opponent marksman.
Oh my gosh, that was a trade. That was a Mao for Queen. But I feel like the better trade that they got was definitely the guys because they got to take down, they got to shut down Queen. And man, I just have to say that Queen, she's hurting so much. She can basically two shot the Fusion and the Beatrix with a full build, so they really have to watch out for that. And this time around, I can see that the Twilight armor has been taken by the Uranus, so that is gonna help her, tank the damage from the Leslie. But as for the Grok as well has went ahead and taken the Twilight armor, so that is, definitely gonna help. Uh, Tang from the Leslie. But yeah, talking about Queen, we can see that she has such an expensive build, and it's definitely worth it because she has two BOD, and that is gonna hurt like hell.
Gods, man, two BODs is just insane. And what is even crazier is that despite the struggle that Dekona guys is facing right now, uh, Beatrix is still way higher above in farm compared to anyone else. Like, he still has a comfortable lead. Like, she could afford maybe another 1,000 gold, and she could afford to go in for a swap. But speaking of a swap, Kezaya getting caught down very low, forced to back off for now. Her flicker also gets baited out, and that's a massive resource baited before the Lord is up in the next 5 seconds. It looks like it might be another comfortable Lord for Queen Slayers. And guys, we might just have a tiebreaker on hand if the game tempo continues like this.
Yeah, I mean, the pace of the game is totally very, very hot right now, and we can see that Queen, she's being chased down, but yeah, she's just gonna use the camouflage to get the extra movement speed and get into safety. But this time around, we can see that there's gonna be another
Sin?
initiation.
Oh my god, massive set coming in. Beatrix is
Oh
turning,
my
turning
god,
off,
this is the green
turning
light.
this
This
game
is
around. It might just
the
be a
green light.
wipeout. There are only two people left on the side of Queen Slayers. Sin versus and Mew. Mew trying to go in for a backline rush, backdoor, which she could just cut the minions in the mid, but she chooses to take the recall for now, trying to play it safe.
What is
And the Lord is back in control of Dekona, guys. This game is going here and there, back and forth. And once again, Kazaya proving why she is the gold standard for the team right now, taking down Queen and every single member of Queen Slayers. Mew
Wow.
going in with the OG Shadow kill, goes in a little too early, trying to get the retribution on time. It's not going to be enough as Lingzi gets the kill. Mao gets the Lord, and they will get the wipeout.
Wow, this is a big throw coming up from Queen Slayers. They risked too much for the lot and they paid the price. They did not secure it and it cost two members to die. So now with the Lord secured onto the side of Dekona guys, I feel like Dekona guys they can actually push through and just look for a end game. But that might not be possible with the Leslie around because she's gonna deal so much absurd damage. So I feel like Kazaya and Mouth, you really have to watch out for the Leslie. Other than that, you are good to go, and you can just be on the back of your tanks and position yourself. But as for Queen Slayers, I feel like they can still defend this somehow because five members are already up. We can see that each and everyone is online from their end.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just so much lane pressure being created right now. There's just the synchronizations of the lane, and that is creating a lot of pressure. Three lanes to defend, but look at
Okay.
my god, she spent so many resources just to get a kill, but unable to take down Mao.
How are they gonna get the defense right now? Miyomo going in with the quad shadow, uses up the OG shadow kill. Two people caught up with the curse of blood. The defense is going great. Queen's wing, the tectonic charge catches four. Telly gets a conversion onto Capybara. Make it two. Make it three. Can it be four? Not just yet. It's only Mio against Queen, but that's the main source. The lane 2 carries is still alive. They have to hold on somehow. Queen backing off for now, zoning them away. But this is it. Queen Slayers will have to bite the dust as Dekona guys will get the second
Victory!
point and the series in their favor. A well deserved MVP. It should probably be Beatrix if I'm not wrong. It has to be Beatrix. Okay. Yeah, it is the Beatrix. Yeah, okay. I looked at
Yeah.
Capybara and I got confused for a second.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, oh my god, this was such an intense game. And man, I just have to say that kudos to Queen Slayers for trying their best and, for putting up such an intense game against Dekona guys. And yeah, I do have to say that Queen, she was a big threat as well in this game. But the end result is right here in front of our screens, and we can see that the winner is gonna be none other than Dekona guys. And man, I do have to say that Dekona guys as well. Big kudos to you guys for holding off so well in the early phases of the game despite having so many disadvantages and just being pressured through and fro, especially the Julian Telly, she was being invaded through and fro, she was being sent back to the base time and time again, but somehow somewhere there was still some gaps that were needed to be filled, and yeah, they did fill those gaps and they managed to turn around the table. The scale definitely tilted towards their side in the late game, and yeah, they came back stronger and harder in the late game. I feel like this time around, there's not much to say because this was a best of three series, Baldudu. And as we already know, that Dekona guys, they already had 1 point prior to this game. So with this, it's gonna be second point. So this time around, that is gonna be a clean sweep for now.
Good man, and that is, that is the name of the game. You had to show up when you needed to, and Dekona guys did literally and figuratively as they got on time and they got the result that they wanted, advancing to the next round. So I guess this is it. This is, I think, is I don't think Queen Slayers is. They have another round for them to get back on, right? There's no wild card or anything of that.
Yeah.
Yup, so that is it. Queenslayers will have to bid adieu despite a good performance coming in from their team. It is going to be enough.
Indeed. And with that, guys, this is the first BO3 of tonight. There's still one more BO3 left. If I'm not wrong, it is gonna be against. Let me just check here. It's gonna be Shadow Esport Nova versus Megacode Apricity. So this is the game that is gonna be the second BO3 for tonight. And stay tuned. So we'll be coming up with a new set of casters very soon, and we'll be bringing in the new team. For now, it's just gonna be me and Baldudu on the caster desk who's going to be signing off.
Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! to Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megatron. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! Lowest prices, incredible benefits. Welcome to Double 11! Amazing prices, amazing styles! Win big in Megatron! 11. Amazing prices, amazing styles. Win big in Megadraw. Lowest prices, incredible benefits.
Good evening, everyone, and once again, welcome back to the Queen's Legacy series brought to you by Wardroom Games. So, here we are on to the lower bracket semifinals, actually, and this is going to be the final match for the day. Best of three series between Team Shadow Esports Nova taking on Team Mega Code Apricity. So, on to your casting decks. This time it is going to be me, Tami, and joining me will be Jeff on to the right side. So, Jeff, how excited you are for this series?
My oh my. I mean, talking about the semifinals though, and that too between Shadow Esports Nova versus Megatron Code Apricity. My oh my, this match is going to be one hell of a ballistic battle because it is about the semifinals. Whoever loses will be dropped towards, not even dropped, they will be eliminated instantly because this is the lower bracket. And whoever wins will be proceeding towards the grand finals, which will be even more exciting. But yeah, what do you say about these teams though, Itami?
Yeah, we are quite familiar with the lineups as well, and Megatron as well as Shadow Esports both have the sponsorship. So, Megatron Esports as well as Shadow Esports, we already know them like they have the male lineup as well. So, this one is the female lineup, and looks like the draft has already begun, and the banning phase is already over. So, instantly, Team Megatron Code Epicity decided to go out with the Bane, which is understandable because he has been quite menacing onto the goal lane, and the damage once he gets the holy crystal as well as the blood wings, it comes up quite massively.
I mean, that's true. And talking about the meta, though, revolving around EXP and talking about gold lane, they have been shifting towards gold lane as well because most of the fighters, we are only seeing them on towards the gold lane as well. And marksmen, they're quite literally not visible any longer now. And speaking of that, it is actually Nathan who was rising up and it'll be banned off as well. And talking about the gold lanes, though, I usually see a CC. Esmeralda, Lapu Lapu, or a Bane, and this time Megatron Code Apricity, they have came in, picked off the Bane, and on the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas, they actually picked off the Esmeralda and Hayabusa, which leaves out the question for the Bane because it can also go towards the mid lane or it can also go towards the gold lane. But right now, I'm most probably thinking that Bane would be going on towards the gold though.
Yeah, true. Because he will be requiring most of the items, and if you are going with the magic worship, what was it? The bargain hunter. Actually, if you went out with the bargain hunter, then you will be able to acquire the items quite faster compared to the other emblem spells. So combined with the bargain hunter as well as the other emblem setups, you will be able to acquire the itemization as well. And holy crystal is one of the most expensive magic items, so it will be requiring you some decent amount of time to be actually acquiring that item. So maybe they can be prioritizing the blood wings first, but Megatron Code Apricity, they will be instantly responding with a Vices as well as a Kadita pick. Looking at the lineup for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity, I do believe they are quite updated with the meta.
That's true. I mean, keeping yourself updated with the meta would be the best thing, especially if you are one of those pro teams who wants to go up and just rise up onto a tournament series. Then yes, meta would be the great choice to be keeping up with, and that is actually what Megatron Code Appreciate came up with. Picked off the Yishin Shin, picked off the Kadita, but I think Shadow Esports know what they could have gone in for a much better, more what do we call tanky type of jungler and go in for something like a Matilda. I mean, Matilda usually does not work out, but in some scenarios it can, and I like the what do we call meta revolving around those EXP type or tanky type or lineups, and that would actually work out well. But yes, Shadow Esports Nova, they do not want their damage to be lacked off. They picked off higher, following up with none other than the Kimi, and for tanking. Right now, there is a Esmeralda who is a menace on the EXP as well as the gold lane, who can just run around, do not care much about the battles, and also just soak up a lot of damage while reflecting the damages itself. So yeah, Esmeralda is quite a literal tank damage dealer who would be running around menacingly. And talking about Megatron Code Appreciate though, they have already banned off the CC throw. That would only so that would only rely the Yushinchin and the Bane to be taking down the Esmeralda really heavily, and the Yushinchin, if he gets marked down by the Hayabusa, it's not gonna be fun. But coming back towards the bans, though, look at that, the Grog being banned off, Itami.
Yeah, understandable though, because Grok has been quite a menace onto the roaming phase as well. The tectonic charge can be the playmaker as well as the game changer for either of the sides. So it is understandable. After the revamp, he has been prioritized a lot, and I do believe that the walls, it can be range of the wall has actually increased. Though the what do you call it? The scaling of the wall is not that much, but the walls can be coming up from anywhere. And if the tectonic charge actually lands upon you, and you don't have a cancel kind of a
Right.
spell like a purify, then the grok could be the main setup site for your team. And that is the one thing team Shadow Esports Novas will be trying to avoid onto this fight. They don't want to be dealing out with the grok, neither they will be trying to prioritize it. So the safer side will just be going out for the ban, and Megatron as well going out for the Florin ban, because the jungler is though revealed. I do believe team Shadow Esports Novas Esmeralda is still a flex pick here. She can be going out onto the goal lane as well. So they can be coming up with a tanky kind of a lineup, and if it was combined with a Florin, it could have been quite menacing. But for this game, she is denied.
Exactly. This time it would be denied off. But talking about Florine, she could have provided the shield as well as the healing. But healing most probably would be the most better option because they don't have much of those tanky, which will be rising up a lot of troubles for them. Because without the tankiness, you won't be able to go in for the team fights, and that is what exactly Team Megatron Code Appreciate needs to fill up for now. But talking about the bans though, look at Shadow Esports Nova actually banning off the Lolita as well as the Grokia, knowing that the Kimi can be countered off by Lolita's shield. They actually picked it off already before anything happens. And talking about Megatron Code Apricity, they are taking down those healers, knowing that the side of team, what they call Shadow Esports, they can actually go in for those healers, provide more healing for the Esmeralda to just tank around more and more. So that's gonna be a big issues. But coming back towards the pick though, what do you think the side of Team Shadow Esports can pick off right now, Itami?
I think the jungler has already been prioritized, so maybe they can be going out with an EXP or a gold. I do think if they will be prioritizing a fighter, we will be having a glimpse that who will be going on onto the EXP, because Esmeralda mostly being prioritized onto the gold lane. Okay, interesting enough, they decided to go out to the marksman. So yep, Esmeralda EXP lane it is instead of the gold. Erithel, she will be heavily relying onto those items, but the advantage against the Bane she has is she will be having the range, but she needs to make sure her positioning is right, or else Bane could just be waiting onto the bush trying to one shot her.
I mean, yes, exactly. When you're facing something like a Bane or maybe something like a EXP type of goal laner, then you would definitely want to go for another EXP fighter type of on the goal lane as well. But this time they actually go in gamble themselves with the Irithil, which can somehow work out. But right now, the side of Team Shadow Esports Nova, the only tankiness they have, it is going to be the Esmeralda, and that's not going to be enough because Esmeralda, she can be melted down by the ale of our Bane. And talking about the ale, though, here comes none other than the Ruby as well as the Black Dragon. My oh my, it is going to be one hell of a fight coming in from everyone here. And wait, now that I think about it, it is going to be Ruby on the roam, though. My wait, I
Yep.
don't usually see Ruby on the roam, but okay, it is what it is right
Yeah.
now. But Shadow Esports, let's see what they're gonna fill it up with because they are lacking the roamer now.
Yeah, in my case as well, actually, it's been a while actually since I have seen a Ruby onto the room. So it will be depending upon the execution, how well they are going to be acquiring the Ruby. But the thing is, for the side of Team Megatron Electricity, Ruby is a fighter tank. She has been, her role has been adjusted back to the tank. So I do believe her defense compared to the other tanks, like she is not that HP based compared to the other roamers like the Belleric or the Hylos. And Hylos is known as one of the most highest HP having heroes onto the game. So, you know, early game wise, I do believe Megatron Core Electricity, they do have the vices for the execution as well as the Kadita, but the other members, in terms of the defense, they are quite vulnerable. So, they need to play it out quite safe as well. On to the same time, they should be making sure they will be getting those objectives.
That's true. Talking about the objectives, Hylos would be a great option here because the Glorious Path will be slowing down Specialists with the healing as well, so he won't be taking down that quickly. And talking about the Glorious Path, it is going to be healing off with. But Itami, right now with the draft, what do you think? Who is it going to be winning off with the first turtle, though?
First turtle wise, okay. I do think team. Shadow Esports Novas, they might be having quite of an advantage because they have an assassin for their side and he can be going out with the clutch. But they, for the side of Team Megatron 2, YSS is known as one of the fastest junglers onto the game. Even after the nerf, he as well as the Lancelot have been quite prioritized. But we are here on to the first game for this best of three series. It will be the lower bracket semifinals elimination. Shadow Esports Novas going up against Team Megatron Code Apricity. For now, it's just the basic rotations as well as trying to get the level 4 mark as soon as possible. Esmeralda, we do know, against a Yuzhong, she could be quite vulnerable because she is not that HP based.
Exactly. Yuzong would be having a fun time against that Esmeralda in the early stages because Esmeralda can't be doing much against her, especially with the life being stolen off her and Yuzong just regaining the HP he lost. So yes, it is going to be a much more issues coming in for the Esmeralda, especially on the rotation part because if she does not get the EXP, she does not get those levels. It's not going to be fun for her. But talking on to the top lane, though, Bane would be getting harassed because of that range disadvantage she has there, and this is exactly what Sia is doing against that Bane here. My oh my, it is going to be fun for her, but exactly on towards the bot lane, we can see the gang shifting. Coming in with the Yushin Mountain Chopper might
Oh,
become there's going to be a gang on towards Esmeralda who comes in, will be carrying her down, and the first blood, nope, it does not go in for now. The gang is still shifting on towards the bot lane, though, as we can see Hilo as well as Kimi coming in. Immobilize being popped up, but not for now, as it is going to be the Ruby's second skill just zoning out the Hylos for now, but the top lane, my oh my, Bane is definitely not having the fun of his life, but it is all about the late game though. Let's see how long the game lasts.
yep. And once he gets the blood wings, I do believe the S2's healings will be quite up. Oh, OG Shadow kill.
Oh
But
my.
they, map awareness this time. Really good map awareness, actually. If he was still waiting onto the bush, maybe the OG Shadow kill would have been doing out onto the job. But for now, the turtle has been spawned, and I do believe it will be Team Shadow Esports Novas trying to contest out for the 31st. Panda is still there, but still, her members are not there to initiate a free turtle going out for the side. But there is the initiation.
Oh, yep, here comes the big black dragon, though, comes in onto the back of the Shadow Kill, will be taking her down. Clara will be getting the kill onto the black dragon, as well as Panda being taken down. Haney will be the one securing that with the glorious path, as well as the rings of punishment. But with that, Hayabusa just taunting out, attraction pulse comes in, catches Kadita, but will not be going in for the initiation because she still has her rough waves, which, oh no, she does not have the rough waves now that I realize. It could have been a good engage, but they do not want to drop bodies, they do not want to sacrifice because they already have the three, what do we call it, three objectives on their hands, just the turtle as well as the, what do we call it, the two kills on the hand. So yes, the side of Team Shadow Esports Nova, they are having the fun trade side on their hands, and with that we'll be seeing the rough trades coming in on our side of Team Megatron Code Appreciative, because if they do not have to invade that, then it would have been fun. But what do you say about it, Tommy?
Yeah, I do believe onto that as well. The Ruby is trying to play out some poking games, but the thing is, the Hylos is way tanky to be just getting bursted down onto at this point. But oh my goodness, an off-camp kill onto the EXP lane. Yuzhong just gets taken down just like that. There was the shark waves, as well as the flicker being used out in order to just retreat. The spells were just baited out, but Caesar somehow just makes the escape.
Exactly. Caesar survived for now, but comes in with a horse claw. Finally, attraction force comes in, might be going in, but the rings of punishment comes in with the immobilize on towards our. Oh wait, there's not going to be any engage on the Bane for now. He still has the, no, he does not have, but the glorious path being popped up comes in to get taunted by none other than the Ruby. Though will be forcing our Hylos Haney to be forcing back, and with that we'll be seeing Shadow Esports not taking any more reckless engage because the turtle will be spawning in 20 seconds. But with this, we'll be seeing the objectives shifting. But what do you say about it, Tommy?
Turtle about to be spawned. So I think, looking at the control, speaking of control, there's the OG Shadow kill coming up from Clara, but the stacks actually won't be enough to just burst down the Bane, and there might be the recalls coming up, but no, somehow there the recall will be stopped. The off-cam kill once again, Kimi goes down, and there is the initiation. The killing spree goes out for the YSS, most probably a free turtle, but because that was the jungler going down.
Exactly. The side of Team Apricity, they did not just got the junglers down, but it is also going to be the trade again. But here comes none other than the Yuzhong being dropped down. With the Starfall Knight, will be getting a force though, but the Petrify being popped up, none other than our Yuzhong just trying to survive for a month longer. And he will be sustaining, he will be surviving for now, but with that, a lot of resources burned down from him, and he won't be able to attend the turtle fight. And with that, we'll be seeing another heads up for our Shadow Esports Nova, and with that, we'll be seeing the engage shifting on towards the lava golem side, though, but the attacking themselves. Catches our panda will not be letting him go in for the turtle, and with that, the Shaco is comes in with the glorious path being popped up, going on towards the backside, but not enough since it comes to the rough waves on towards Akadita, but she will be going back with the OG Shadow kill comes in onto the backside with the quad Shadow saving his life for now as our Yuzong was trying to chase him down, but with that it is only going to be the turtle falling on the hands of Shadow Esports with not much of the resources being taken down from our Megatron Code Apricity.
Yeah, a good bait actually. Sen was forced to use out the flicker as well as the turtle once again going out for the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas, and slowly but surely, the goal lead it is extending. And Team Megatron Code City, they are yet to find out a proper opening. There is the Forging Star Moon, and looks like Iris will just be retreating it out. They are just beating out the resources, and I do think Megatron Code City. I believe they do have the lineup. And speaking of lineup, Caesar just goes back and somehow she's able to sustain it out.
This is what we're talking about, but with that, the glorious path being popped up, going on towards the backside, but the Bane's damage is finally coming in though, and with that, we'll be seeing the gang shifting on towards the top lane. The Skyfall coming in on towards our Bane though, but he will be surviving because of the bounce coming in, but here comes Hayabusa with the Holy Shadow on towards the backside, but will not be able to with the Quad Shadow saving his life for now, but Drew will be tucking down the top lane first here, and with that, the gang shifts it on with the Black Dragon form being popped up, but he will be taken down. Gummy Worm was taken down, and with that, we'll be seeing Sten as well taking up a lot of damage, not able to sustain, but the Quad Shadow comes in with the Shuriken, taking Sten down, and it is going to be Clara who will be securing the kill, and with that Starfall Knight on towards Lunabai, and she will be taken down. The Bane was taken down in the most brutalist manner as we can think, but the rough waves being popped up, there is still our Esmeralda though, but she will be surviving for now. Kadita managed to escape just like a fish, my oh my.
Yeah. Somehow she was able to escape, but still the fact is, once again the Oichi Shadow Kill being used out of the panda. That will be a perfect initiation and unstoppable for the Hayabusa already. Megatron Code Apricity yet to find a proper opening, and that was a 3 for none. And once again, before the turtle, they just lose out their jungle.
Exactly. Even before the turtle, this is the second time they lose out their jungler and 0-3-0. This is what I'm saying, when you have a Hayabusa, you need to make sure to secure your Yushinshin, and with that, the turtle will be falling with the gang shifting on towards the purple buff, though comes in with the quad shadow attraction burst, but Sen will be surviving because there is no shadow kill on towards the Hayabusa for now, but Mountain Shocker being popped up. Not enough, but what do you say about this battle that is coming out? Do you think Megatron Opacity has any chance of surviving here, Itami?
I think, if they actually hold it out somehow and if they get the defense item, then maybe there could be kind of a chance. But looking at the initiations as well as the executions coming out from the side of Team Shadow Esports Nova, I believe it is really, really clean at this point. They get the kills and they just back it off. They are not overextending onto any team fights by far. So there are some rare kind of chances that they actually mess up, and there is the concealed play might be coming up onto Scissor, the Glorious Pathway also being used out, but there might be the team fight.
Yep, comes same way. The attraction pulse to catch is Sten with the ring of punishment being popped up, but onto the back line. Though comes in with the petrify combo, catching Sida, but she will be surviving for now because there is the purify for her to be saving alive. And with that, the star for arm comes in, catches 3 people, carrying none other than Sten down with the rough is being popped up, but comes in with the shadow kill. The shadow get his double kill. Panda as well being taken down. Clara is way too OG on that Hayabusa, and with that, we'll be seeing Shadow Esports taking down the second tiers pretty easily with our Bane just trying to push turrets, but will not be able to force to be backing off because the teammates are dead, and with that,
oh my god,
Hayabusa comes in with the quad shadow though, taking way too much damage, and the shutdown finally comes in onto the Sung, and with that, our Megatron Apricity gets the shutdown, a lot ton of gold, but Shadow Esports still having a huge lead on their hands, 7k, 8k to be exact. Oh,
yeah,
7K.
exactly. Yep, 7 to 8k, I guess. But the Petrify was right on time from the Kadita actually. If the Petrify was not there, then maybe Kadita would have been fallen as well. But there was a tower dive as well as the tower damage will be quite massive considering the fact the inhibitors are still standing. But the fact is the Hayabusa has already spawned back onto the game and the Lord has been won. So there is some less kind of chances that Megatron will actually contest out for the Lord considering the fact they don't have the itemizations yet. But if they are able to make a clutch steal, then it will be buying off a lot of time for their side.
Speaking about the clutch steal, though, I don't think so. It's going to be that possible, because look at the level gap coming in from the junglers right now. 3 level gap, the retribution damage will be at a all right now. But oh, Starfall being charged up might go in, but no, Turtle Dance will be coming in. And Shadow Esports Nova, they have started off with Megatron not trying to contest for now because Panda, he will be marked down pretty easily between those Hammer as well as that Glorious Patria. With that, the Lord follows up. But Itami, do you think this Lord will be the end for our Megatron Code Apricity?
I think if the lane syncing is up to the point, and if they are actually able to synchronize it quite well with a good amount of trade, then it would be quite possible. But looking at the itemizations, look at the Bane already completing the Holy Crystal as well as the Blood Wings. But the thing is, he is not able to execute it like he is supposed to. And Team Shadow Esports Nova having the better advantage. Speaking of advantage, there was the Petrify once again, but Clara will be able to make the escape. The lane is quite okay-ish, but there might be the team fight onto the mid side before.
Exactly, the mid lane will be having engaged. Though comes in none other than Khadita with a love wave, but will not be able to glorious path popped onto the mid lane. Comes in with the attraction pearl, is not able to stop online onto Khadita. Might be taken down, but no, it will be the first kill being saved up with the high lows. With none other than the shark wave comes in, scaring down the Lord, and with that, another day for our Megatron Apricity. They will be seeing another shine of the sunset, and oh, not sunset, but sunrise. And with that, we'll be seeing the minions being cleared off, but no engages for now, as it is not going to be the safe side for our Shadow Esports, but no, Esmeralda, this one when the stop comes in, the mid lane inhibitor will be taken down. Catch is none other than 4 people, but no, it's not going to be enough since it is the Ruby who will be taken down by none other than Ruse. Oh my man, the Witchy attack dealing way too much damage. Athena follows on towards Amy, and with that, the bot lane inhibitor as well being taken down, and it is going to be the Shadow Esports who will be having another initiation. Gets Clara with none other than the Rogue Waves, and with that, something but Shark Waves being taken down are none other than Kimi with that, the Blink Dragon form coming onto the backside though, and it is going to be the 3-4-3 situation. Comes in, Yuzong trying to go in, will be getting that though, but not engaging for now, knowing that there is a risk of him being taken down, and with that, we'll be seeing Shadow Esports Nova just being forced to be backing off, and Megatron Code Appreciate having another chance of comeback.
Yeah, but the thing is, they just lose out their inhibitors, so it's only the top tower remaining. Before that, if they are able to, like, if Team Shadow Esports Novas they overextend onto any team fights like this, then maybe Team Megatron Code Apricity might come up with a bounce back. But for now, they need to find off a better trade. And the thing for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity is slowly but surely they are, getting quite hold on to the itemizations. It is quite behind compared to the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas, but they will be requiring some perfect kind of an execution before that.
Exactly. Speaking about items, we can already see Hayabusa completed his BOD, and that is going to be giving him the maximum amount of damage that he needs to just burst down any squishies. And talking about squishies, he is on towards that blood retribution, which will be giving him the extra damage he needs, and just dropping down the target he is trying to go in for, just dropping his defense, and that's going to be enough. And yes, speaking of defenses, though, we can see lack of defenses from the side of the Megatron Appreciate, because Yuzong does not have enough defenses for now. He only has that dominance eyes, which is only for none other than the Esmeralda, as well as reducing some of those basic attack off towards our Irisal. And with that, for that off-screen, Clara gets the kill with the waves on towards the Hayabusa though, and with that we can see Megatron Appreciate having another hopes of contesting the slot. And with that, the mid lane will be having an engage. I am offended, gets 2 people. With that, the Starfall line onto the back line. Love waves, not the love waves, but the sharp waves will be coming in onto the backside though. With that, the big black dragon form coming in on towards, just using it to be escaping off. Sen will be taken down by Haney though. Heavy crossbows, just way too heavy for a Sen to be handling. And with that, Bane will be caught in the Starfall line, and with that we'll be seeing none other than Panda just trying to melt down, but it is Esmeralda, my guy. You do not want to go in for that, Yishin.
Yeah, definitely. And for that trade, it was a 1-for-1, but they did lose out their roamer. So the proper frontliner, let's say, has been taken down, and it will be another uncontested lot for the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas. Even though they will be having 5 of the members trying to defend out the base, but still, the fact is, when they were engaged right after they took down Clara, the top side minions was able to take down the top inhibitor towers as well. So this defense is definitely going to be tough, but the fact is the Bane's damage is slowly but surely coming online, but the Kimi also has the Sky Piercer for her side. So the major damage sources, there are a lot of major damage sources for the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas, but in my opinion, for the side of Team Megatron, it's the Kadita as well as the Bane who will be playing that vital role. YSS for now, looking at the KDAs and everything, he is more of an objective stealer.
Exactly. Yushin is more of an objective stealer, but as the level gap is coming in, I'm expecting Panda to be having those retry battles. But speaking of that, the Lord is marching from the mid lane, though comes in none other than our Esmeralda goes in for towards our Gummy, but it's not going to be enough because it's not the
Oh,
Shadow will be having enough damage. The percent will be taken down by Saza. With that, we can see none other than the Joy Spot being popped up, Gummy Worm being taken down by Star once again, and with that, the Nexus taken down. Shadow Esports Nova securing the first game on their hands, and with that, Megatron will be having another
Victory!
rough time, just stressed out match for the second game because they need to take a reverse sweep with 2 games on the hand. But Itami, how was this match, my guy? How do you like this match now?
yeah, by far, I would say Shadow Esports, they did a pretty really good job actually when it came to the executions. And draft was not exactly an issue, but I feel like maybe instead of a Ruby, instead of a initiator, the initiator kind of a thing could have been done with the YSS as well as the Kadita, and even they had the Yuzhong. So initiator wise, they were not lacking, but maybe if they had a healer for their sides, then the results could have been quite extended, even though the execution parts Shadow Esports right from the early game, right where Team Megatron Esports were lacking. That was the defense, like defense item. Before they get the defense item, they won't be able to sustain much onto the team fights, and that is what exactly happened. And Team Shadow Esports, they made full advantage of it. They had the Hayabusa for the side, and it was executed quite perfectly.
Exactly. Hayabusa was what do we call it? A jump card I'll be seeing. Just having them enough would have been giving them a lot of time. But yes, guys, with this, we'll be taking a short break. Don't go anywhere. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks. It is none other than your homeboy, Uncle Jeff. Oh wait, never mind, guys. We just got a call. It's no breaks. Never mind. We'll be straight on through the second game. But yeah, Itami, what do you think that our side of C Megatron can change up so that they can have a much more fun time on towards the battle here? Because on the previous game, we saw that they did not have enough of those defenses, and the late game, as the game progressed, Esmeralda was fed up and she was way too buffed for the side of Team Nova to be, not Nova, but the side of Team Megatron to be taking her down. And with that, Nova actually just swept through with those defenses as well as the damage onto the Hayabusa. But yeah, Itami, what do you think that the side of Team Megatron can change in this game?
Hmm. I think the executions onto the early game, and if they are going out for the sustainability kind of a draft, like if they don't have that much of a defense onto the early game phase, then it is okay. Like if you are losing out some objectives, but still you are updated with the itemizations, and you still have a chance. But the thing is, don't give the trades to the enemies to the point that the goal lead will be extending, and you won't be able to make up a comeback. So that would be one of the things that Team Megatron might be able to, like, hopefully will be able to work it out. But I believe it was not completely one-sided, and still Megatron Core Electricity, if they are able to work on onto it, we might be having a game number three as well. Who knows?
Exactly. If Megatron decides that they need to turn off the tables here and they actually get none other than the game two on their hands, then we can see the game three coming in, the tiebreaker, which would be the most exciting part because the side of Team Megatron, I see potential in them, but they are not able to put it out because the previous draft, definitely Yuzong had the fun time on the early fights, but as the game progressed, Esmeralda got the Oracle, her defenses got way too high, her shield just got way too buffed, and with that, Yuzong was not able to shred through that as we saw on the one-on-one scenario against that Yuzong and Esmeralda. Esmeralda actually took down Yuzong's HP in pretty much no amount of time with that Starfall Knight as well. Just dropped his HP, and with that, Yuzong forced to be backing off. Though he survived, but there was already a punch to his gut, just saying that you are no match from Yuzong. You are the Black Dragon, but I am the Black Dragon Slayer here, and that's pretty much it. But talking about the junglers, though, Yushin Shin gets countered by Hayabusa way too hard, and seeing that the side of Team Nova already had the Hayabusa, the side of Team Megatron still decides to go in for that. Yushinshin was a bad trade coming in because they could have gone in for the Fredrin, they could have gone in for the tanky jungler instead. But what do you say about it, Doitami, as we come in towards the game number two?
Yeah, like you were saying, like Hayabusa could be is kind of a counter for this for the YSS, and after YSS even got adjusted, I believe Team Megatron Core Electricity, if instead of they can be going out with a utility kind of a jungler, then it will be working out. But here we are onto the second banning phase already. So I believe the draft, it would be pretty similar to the previous one, but most probably one of the sides they will be trying to ban out the Bane. Even if Team Megatron they had the hands onto the Bane, I believe it was not them who were not able to like use it onto the full potential because of the gold lead that was extending for the side of Team Shadow Esports
Mhm.
Novas. And there you go, the Bane as well as Xborg getting banned. Now, Xborg has also been quite of a priority onto the gold lane actually.
I mean, speaking of Xbox, though, yeah, he definitely works out, but on towards the Xbox, though, he usually gets countered by other fighter types of goal laners. So that's not a good trade I'll be seeing when you get the user or when you get the Xbox here, because he can just shred it down pretty easily. His Faraga armor will not be standing for way too long, especially talking about if there is a Bane, then the magic damage is just going to shred out the Faraga armor. But talking about that, the Bane already being taken down by Megatron. Code Appreciate, they do not want the Shadow Esports to be taking it on. And talking about Shadow Esports, they actually come in with the Angela ban. Though they have the first pick, they do not want to pick nor let the side of Megatron have the Angela here. But yeah, Angela, she is a menace. At the same time, she is way too squishy and does not go with maximum of the lineups. But yeah, she can be worked out in the mid lane a lot. But I would definitely prefer some other burst mages or some support, a better support CC chained mage type of I would be seeing. But yeah, talking about it, what do you think, Itami? It would be a best ban for Megatron Code Appreciate here.
They can be going out with. I think, most probably it would be similar to the first game's draft. But okay, interesting enough, they have decided to ban out with the Esmeralda. It was Team Shadow Esports Novas who were able to utilize the Esmeralda before, and it was the Esmeralda who got the MVP as well for the site. So it is quite of an understandable kind of a ban, and they are aware of the fact that Esme can be going out onto the gold lane as well, not just onto the EXP. It was decided after the Irithel was picked out. We were expecting an Esme gold as well, but for this game, she is banned out. Nathan has been always a banned priority. I do understand why, because if they go out for a tanky kind of a lineup, that is where Nathan could actually shine if his positioning is right and the itemizations are done right on time. But for this game, he is banned out. So it is looking pretty updated, and I would say no respect bans by far because these are the heroes who have been quite doing well onto this patch.
Exactly. Talking about patches, Nathan, definitely a really annoying hero. At the same time, a really OP hero. You do not want to pick it, you definitely want to ban it. That's how the game usually goes on the draft. If you don't want something meta, or if you want to just pick off some other heroes of your opponents, then you can usually just ban it off or pick it off. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pick it off or ban it off. And talking about Megatron though, look at the like you were mentioning, right? There is no respect ban, but right now there is a Esmeralda who is actually a meta at the same time a respect. But now the side of Team Megatron, they actually forget that there is a CC opened up to be picked off from the side of Team Super Shadow Esports Nova, and with that, we'll be seeing the CC coming in, and that leaves out still, and then that still leaves out the question. CC would be going on towards none other than the gold lane or on towards the EXP side, and that is going to be leaving out the big question mark. But Megatron Code Ability banning off the Gato, so they are probably going for a good equal combo, I guess. But what do you think about it, Itami?
I think the CC pick most probably they decided to ban out the Xborg because they did wanted to prioritize the CC because Xborg is one of the fighters that does really well when it comes to the laning against the CC, and he can be acquired with the Sky Piercer as well. Once he gets the last insanity as well as the perfect timing is there, then Xborg can work out onto the gold lane too. But for this game, they prioritize the CC, and Megatron Code Apricity will be responding with an Irithel as well as a Kimi. Kimi, we did see her onto the previous game, but Irithel, it was onto the hands of Team Shadow Esports Nova. They won't be giving it out, and they will be prioritizing it for their side. And it looks like a trade actually. Instead of Irithel, they got the Vices for their side.
I mean, yep, definitely. That is a trade coming in. You pick off the Irithel will be going in for the Yishin, and that is also a Kimi being taken down by Megatron Code Apricity. So yeah, that is not going to be that big of an issue at the same time. It can also cause up a lot of trouble if there is going to be any lack of what do we call it, mark on towards that Kimi, then it is going to be a problem. But Shadow Esports Nova, they do not want to let anything lacked off. They come in, pick off the Lunox, so no tankiness will be coming in from Megatron Code Appreciate, and they would be taken down in a matter of seconds. And talking about matter of seconds, it is going to be the last pick on towards our Megatron Code Appreciate for the first phase of the draft. And with that, let's see what it is going to be, because there are a lot of heroes open, and the side of Team Shadow Esports, they still have what do we call it? They still have a question mark is Kimi, or not Kimi, but CC would be going on towards the gold or on towards the EXP, because CC on towards the EXP definitely can counter the Irithel. But what do you say about it, Itami?
CC, CC as well as the Lunox actually could be kind of a flex fix. Shadow Esports Novas, the CC as well as the Lunox, they are the flex fix here. And YSS, he is definitely a jungler. But for the side of Team Megatron, it is, looking at the lineup, it is quite kind of confirmed which lanes these heroes will be taking. Irithel onto the gold, Lapu onto the EXP, and of course Gumi onto the mid. But the Lunox is one of the heroes, like one of the mages that actually works out onto the goal lane as well. But against the Irithel, it is kind of doubtful. But still, CC can be an EXP as well as the goal lane. So we will be waiting it out for Shadow Esports Novas to complete the draft so that we will be having bit more clearance when it comes to what roles they will be picking off with. And speaking of roles, for this game, Hayabusa is banned out. It was Team Shadow Esports Nova who got their hands onto the Haya. It was Clara before, who absolutely signed on to that Haya. But for this game, they are the ones who are banning it out. So, it is understandable because they have already prioritized the YSS, and YSS has a really hard time. Like you have already said, he can be working out, Haya can be working out as a counter for him.
Yep, exactly. And it is actually really annoying though. If you ask me about the Hayabusa just facing off the Ishin Maya or Maya, the quad shadow with the shadow kill combo, it is actually not going to be working out against the favor of our YSS. And talking about YSS here would be having a much more fun time in this game, just roaming around, clearing the creeps, because there is no one in particular to be marking him down. And talking about that, we can also see Matilda as well as Carmilla being taken down. My oh my, there is no more AOG nor the escape road being left open for both the teams to be picking it off. But what do you think about the picks, Itami? What do you think is lacking from both the teams right now?
For the side, I think they decided to ban out the supports for Megatron from the side of Team Megatron Code Electricity, and most probably they are going to be prioritizing a roamer, maybe a setup kind of a roamer, because they are banning out the support. And on to my wild guesses, it could be a Florin as well if they decide to go out for the utility, but let's just wait it out. They are taking enough time. And Shadow Esports Novas, they will be prioritizing. Okay, we just got a glimpse, and I did see a name on onto my screen. It is going to be an assassin coming up, and Eamon. He has been quite buffed, and against our vices, he can do work, but it's all on the executions.
Amon, I mean, I have heard from a friend of mine that Amon is a really, really underrated hero, but he really gets countered a lot. And talking about counters, there is the AoE effect coming in from none other than the Alice, which would actually counter off that Amon, and it is not going to be the fun because Amon, if he gets countered off, then what's the use of just using off the like if there is the AoE splash effect, then yes, talking about it, Amon, if he knows how to just reposition himself really well, then it's actually going to be a much more fun side because Amon, when he gets those shards collected, when he gets those shards stacks, then he can just burst down anyone in a matter of second. But no, it's not going to be because there is going to be the Grok who will be blocking the path. At the same time, the tech charge and the first kill will be giving a hard time for the Amon to be moving around. And Alice talking about her passive, it is also a splash effect coming in, as well as the first kill just revealing the location. But what do you think, Itami? Will Amon be a perfect pick here? Because there is not much tanking, there's not much squishiness coming in from the side of Team Shadow Esports, except for YSS and Lunox.
They need to be heavily reliant onto the early game. That's all I can say for now, because as you said, the lineup is kind of defensive, as well as the fact that Team Megatron Core Diversity, their lineup is kind of squishy as well. So it's going to be depending upon what will be they going with when it comes to the roam.
Exactly. The side of Team Megatron Code Appreciate, they came in with a three picks of damage already, which was not a good sign because you need to keep out those tankiness at the first, but at the same time, both the teams they went in for the damage. But look at that, the Hylos as the finisher on Megatron once again, or not once again, but it was on Shadow Esports, but now it's on Megatron. What do you say about it, Itami?
Yeah, it kind of looks like some of the heroes here are traded the vices for the side of Team Shadow Esports, and Megatron traded out the Hylos as well as the Erithel. But I'm kind of doubtful with the Aemon as well, because before if they get the magic defense, Aemon can actually do out the job when it comes to getting the kills. And but the thing for the side of Team Shadow Esports Nova is, once Lunox gets the level 4, she can use the brilliance to, if the ultimate comes up from the side of the Amon, then she can be using the brilliance in order to just deflect it, and not deflect actually, to make sure that the damage won't be hitting up onto her. So it's all onto the executions, but yeah, the aim and pick, it is kind of doubtful. Here we are on to the second game for the night. Shadow Esports Novas are already leading the series. This will be the match point for them, but the question is, will Team Megatron Code City come up with a comeback?
And yes, it is going to be leading out the question because this is going to be a stressful match for the side of Team Megatron. Could appreciate with them just being left in the dust with 1 point ahead on Shadow Esports, and that is going to be leading out the question. And with that, the mid lane already having a clash between two people, between four people, I'll be seeing because there is a 2 for 2. And yes, with that, Lunox dropped already low, but no, it is going to be another fair. With that, we can see some
Oh,
already. It is going to be the flag damage coming in. And with that, Clara already comes in for the 8, but it's not going to be enough because two people already down from the side of Team Shadow Esports. Drowned really low, but they won't be going in for the recall because Rue actually has a light order to be using up. And what do you say about the first turtle though? I'm like, it's always my first thing, when I'm in the draft. I ask my who the first turtle will be belonging to as the draft goes. But what do you say, Itami, the first turtle? Who do you think it's gonna belong to?
I think objective based as well as the map control based, like looking at both of the drafts, I think Team Shadow Esports Novas might be having the advantage unless Amon comes up with the trade before the turtle, and it will be depending upon the level 4 mark for most of the members as well, because it is the ultimate, right, which will be the most contributing when it comes to the team fights.
Exactly. The levels will be contributing a lot. And talking about contribution, the mid lane is having the contribution of trading out blows. And with that, Clara comes in, mounting shock.
Oh no!
The high lows already dropped really low, and Sen will be the one being dropped to his grave at the first point, and the first blood follows on to a Shadow Esports Nova, already giving them the heads up on towards the turtle fight. And with that, I'm having a much more fun side onto a Shadow Esports though, because the way they're executing the fight, the way they're having the fun side as well, and with that, Amon already exposed Panda being shown himself in the map will be giving a much more what do we call it, heads up on towards Clara here because she knows where the Amon is hiding, and with that, she can just use up a lot more resources to just burn out the times at the same time, just get the objective as well. And on towards the top lane, though, we can see the engage actually happening, the clash, the brawl, which we are all anticipating for the turtle, though. And with that, Sen already comes in with the hammer charged up, but it is going to be already onto the top lane, following up with none other than the Irithor. And with that, we can see the wall being popped up from within, none other than Alice with the all, but it is going to be the retribution, and but Star will be getting the kill onto it. Then with that, we'll be seeing the heads up already. Haney dropping low will be forced to back up, but it's going to be Gummy Worm who will be taken down on double kill with our CC here. And with that, Amon forced to back off, but red buff, the orange buff already exposed for our Clara to be taking it down. But no, Clara will be playing it safe for now. And with that, look at the trade, Itami.
Yeah, a good trade actually, a 2 for 1 as well as the turtle. So definitely a big advantage. And interesting fact: CC before the Warx, he decided to go out with the Hunter Strike. Maybe most probably the Hunter Strike, looking at the Fury Hammer. So yeah, it will be dishing out a lot of damage, and it is understandable actually before going out for defensive kind of items, because it is a CC gold lane, right? So she is supposed to be giving out the damage that the team needs, and she is able to do so. She just got the double as well as the turtle is for their favorable for their side. So Shadow Esports Novas, they are having quite of a good time at least for now, and the Eamon pick, like we were expecting, like we already discussed it out, he is not able to find the trades, and there might be the engage onto the mid side.
Oh yes, and with that we can see Samsung already taken down with the crossbow, and with that we'll be seeing none other than Sen also being dropped, but it's going to be he traded off because of the third damage, and it is a fair trade because there was a tank traded off for Mage and the Rumor. And with that, Megatron code Appreciate already dropped really low, and with that, the bot lane though, oh my man, the gold lane is being dominated by the CC as our Irithel already dropped low. Like I mentioned, they are able to trade blows. CC is actually able to trade blows with our Irithel, but what do you say about the trades on towards the kills though, Itami?
Yeah, in terms of kills, Shadow Esports Novas are having better of a time, and the one trade, it was onto the Roma, so he is not able to, like, he is not the one who will be acquiring a lot of gold onto his hands. It will be the other members. So by far, Shadow Esports Nova, they are having the time of their lives, but there might be the engage onto Clara right before that.
Yep, exactly. Clara will be coming in, though, but it is going to be Gummy Worm who will be forced to be using off. The bravest fighter comes in, none other than the land kick as well, the raging slashes, but not enough because it's going to be Gummy Worm who will be chased down regardless, and he will be taken down, but no, he still survives because the shield, the passive, saves his life for now, but it's going to be none other than taken down by Panda's shards, and with that, Sen as well going with the wrong path, though you should not be going from there, and it's going to be the tech charge as well as Ru using off the chaos to be taking down none other than the Hylos. My oh my, the trade though. A roamer for a jungler, not a fair trade, but at the same time, the turtle will be here, and Panda still not going for the turtle, and with that, will be coming in towards a pause.
Yeah, a shot was coming up from one of the sides of the team, and looking at the game by far, Panda somehow was able to get a trade onto Clara. But the thing is, for the side of team Megatron Core City, they already lost high loss for 4 times already. So it is okay. It is a rumor. I do understand he doesn't have that much of a goal, but the thing is, the goal lead for the side of Team Shadow Esports Novas is slowly but surely it is extending a lot. And CC, the lane dominance is already showing up, but even if the Erithel, she is able, if after she gets those itemizations and after she tries to engage onto the team fight, the problem will be the CC as well as the Alice. They have the vengeance for their side. So even if she comes up with the basic attacks, it might actually just backfire onto her.
Exactly. And that is actually going to be giving them a hard time. But talking about that as well, we can see a much more, what do we call, opposite trade coming in from both the teams, because we actually saw the trades coming in from our Megatron Code City, which was not that great of a trade. But yes, with this, we'll be coming back towards the game as the game resumes with our Shadow Esports already heads up with the 1 point, as well as this game falling on their hands with the trades coming in. But with that, Gummy Worm going in for the fight, but it's going to be the turtle who comes in, none other than the Irithel using up the first kill already with the damages coming in because of the shield break. But with that, attraction pulse missing off, not enough. The Ru will be using up the light aura, and with that, it is going to be the retreat coming in from the Lunox though, but it's not going to be enough because she still has the chaos orb on her, and with that, it is going to be the much more damageable side coming in. But she still does not have the mana, so she will be forced to be backing off. But with that, the top lane, Clara already used up onto the shot, will be dropped really low, comes in with a
Oh no!
taken down by Panda, but it is going to be Iris who will be taking down Panda in return. The jungler for the jungler, and with that, it is going to be the wall popped straight onto a Sense face, and with that, the tech charge charging her up as well, knocking her up here, and with that, Sen will be taking her down. Sen will be taken down by killing spree following onto a Drew, though she does not have the mana, she can still melt down, and with that, Gummy Worm as well as Iris having a 1-for-1, the trade blows coming in from the E experiences, which we usually see, and with that, it is going to be the disengage coming from both the teams. But look at that, Itami, the trade just came in on the top lane, EXP, not EXP, but jungler for jungler. But oh,
Yeah,
onto a deep lane though, we can see another engage coming in. Haney drop really low, using up with the attraction pulse. But with that, we can see the top lane having another engage on towards Gummy Worm with the mounting shocker comes in with the bravest fighter being popped up forcefully. And with that, the glorious path coming in. It is in a bad position though, will be pops her passive. And with that, the shards come in. She still survives for a little longer, but it is will be taken down by Panda's basic attack. Way too damage coming in. And with that, Lunaway will be coming in, getting the kill. Not getting the kill, but will be destroying the mid lane. And with that, she will be getting the shutdown on towards Ru, and with that, the hard straw finally complete, and it is dropping really high up, and with that, Panda secures the turtle, and it is a comeback scenario coming in from Megatron Code Apricity.
wow. Once it is just the 8 minute mark, and I would like to remind you again, it was the second turtle, so there won't be a third turtle contention. There was a lot of skirmish going around, and finally it looks like Team Megatron Road Electricity, they are so back onto the game. But the fact is, will Shadow Esports Novas, they might just come up with a comeback or they might not, because it is Panda this time who has more of the trades. But looking at the trades, there's engage.
Glorious path though, but it's not going to be enough because it is going to be disengaged from our Megatron Code Apricity. They already have the lead for now, but they do not want to throw it out.
Oh,
Inside comes in Haney, will be taken down by Sung Sung, and with that it is going to be the Ru forced to be using up the light orb, and with that we can see another engage coming, immobilized, forcing Ru, but it is going to be Clara recalling peacefully, does not care much about it. She is a jungler and she will be recalling in the jungle itself, and with that Ru forced to be locked down, and with that comes in immobilized, dropping her in the single situation, and Ru will be taken down by Gummy Worm's swords, and with that we can see attraction pulse getting none other than our Iris, and with that the battle still coming in. Bravest Spider will be taking down Iris in the bot lane. First year will be taken down, and with this we can see comeback coming in. Megatron.
wow. Megatron Code Apricity, they are locked in this time. around. And Tara, she decided not to engage onto the team fights, but it would be better for her trying to prioritize those turrets. And it looks like there is still some time. There is still some seconds for the Lord. And looking at the itemization, actually, she decided the CC decided to go out with the Fury Hammer, and she decided to complete out the War Axe. But the thing is, the Lambent is still kind of lacking. But they were trying to steal out the blue buff, and somehow from the hands of Clara, Panda was able to steal it out, and looks like the Lord will be up anytime soon. But before that, there might be the team fight as well as the initiation from the Alice. Just not engaging yet, but the Lord is up. This time, definitely, Jeff, it is going to be a Lord dance.
Exactly. The Lord Dance is going to be the most crucial one because both the teams are at a bay right now. They do not want to throw off the lead that the Megatron Code City had, and they do not want to cover, and they want to cover up as well, and they will be looking for it as well. And before that, Shadow Esports Nova will be securing their positions before they go in for the fight. Megatron Opportunity, they can run up wild, and with that, Haney already dropped the low, comes in with a tech charge, catching none other than Tendo, knocking it out with the tech charge, and with that, the Deployer is being popped up.
Oh,
Shots using up onto the tank, they will be forcing them, but here comes Haney, who will be dropped down by the raging splashes, and with that, Lunaby gets the kill onto CC, and with that, it is in a bad position, forced in a 5v1 situation, not a 5v1, but a 4v1 scenario, and Iris will be taken down, and with that, Clara comes in, gets the kill onto a Sung Sung, but no, not enough for now because Sen will be just standing there onto the Lord waiting for our Clara, but Sung Sung and Clara having a one-on-one before Sen comes in, disrupts that with the hammer, and with that, Lord falls on the hands of Megatron Code Apricity, and we can see a really amazing comeback coming in from the side of Megatron Code Apricity. The game 3 is looking very near, Isami. Oh, but before that,
oh, Clara, no!
ambush, and she will be taken down by the shots, and my oh my, Amondo making up wonders.
Oh my god. Aemon pick. We were kind of doubting out for the Aemon because we did believe that he had a lot of counters as well as the lineup was kind of defensive, but it depends upon the user as well, how he will be executing, how she will be executing that hero, and it is definitely showing up onto the hands of Panda, making this Aemon work somehow, getting those objectives, and they might be able to get the game too as well. But before that, there might be the initiation. The glorious pathway comes up.
Oh, yep, glorious path with the bravest spider following up, and it's not going to be enough because it's going to be Clara, will still be taken down by Lunaby as well as Haini dropped down, but Drew will be securing the kill on towards Hilo, so but it's not going to be enough because Kiris will be taken down by Sung Sung, and with that, the Holy Shield will be saving their middle lane inhibitor, but not enough though because another stack of minions is coming in, and with that, the mid lane inhibitor as well as the top lane in trouble, but no, Drew being dropped really low, and with that, the Nexus is being marked down, and it might be ending off, but with that comes in none other than Drew being taken down by Lunaby. It is way too OP, but Nexus marked down with Yishin Shin taken down. And with that, Megatron Code Apricity makes it an equalizer with a tiebreaker game coming in, a 1-for-1 game coming in with Megatron Code Apricity winning the second game.
What a performance, man. What a performance for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity. They came up with a comeback, and here we are. They are definitely forced out a game number 3, and Megatron Code Apricity, they won't be going down without a proper fight. We will be witnessing a game number 3, and YSS, man. YSS, it it is kind of a, let's say, it is kind of a curse for this series. It was team it was team Megatron before who picked out the vices, and they just lose out the first game, and this time it was team uh, Shadow Esports who prioritized the vices, and they decided to lose it out. So I'm kind of guessing it out that I actually wouldn't be surprised one of the teams just decides to just ban him out.
Exactly. But yes, this is going to be the third game, the tiebreaker, which everyone is excitingly waiting up for. What would secure the slot on the grand finals of the lower bracket, or is it going to be the side of the Megatron? Oh my, this is actually a really anxious match coming in for both the teams because any mistake will lead to defeat, any reckless engage will lead to the defeat. And talking about it though, the game 3 is going to be really exciting because both the drafts will be really what do we call calculated, knowing that this team can pick off that and this should be banned off. And yes, both the teams definitely should know each other by now because the way they are playing off, I can literally say that they are the most like not most, but they are actually really experienced on towards each other because the first game we saw Shadow Esports absolutely destroying and and what do we call it, annihilating the side of Team Megatron. And as the game progressed, as the second game progressed, we saw the side of Team Shadow Esports actually dominate the early to mid game. But as the mid game just proceeds, we saw none other than Megatron. The Irithel actually just came in with those clutches, the damage coming in from her. My oh my! But Itami, what do you think about the third game? Are you excited about it?
I definitely am excited for the third game, considering the fact how well, how well Team Megatron Capacity came up with a comeback. So I definitely want to see a game number three, and it is going to be happening with me and Jeff onto the casting decks, of course. But if you people just joined in, please do subscribe on to Wardroom Games. And after the Queen's Legacy, we will be having the Mythic Showdown season two. I would like to remind all of the viewers, and on to the Mythic Showdown, we will be having a lot of giveaways onto that side. So that is one of the things I would like to remind all of the viewers here. But thank you so much for joining, everyone. Slowly we will be slowly but surely we will be going on onto the game number three. Any predictions onto the bands, Jeff?
Talking about the bands, my oh my, the previous game we saw Esmeralda being taken down, but this time I feel like both the teams would definitely not want to pick YSS, I guess, because it's kind of like a might go in for the back, we do not know. But yeah, talking about that, there is also Idithil, who both the teams would the ban off because Idithil, both the games we saw Idithil just perform really well. On the first game, we saw none other than Shadow Esports Nova make out a lot on towards that Idithil, and on towards the third game, or on towards the second game, we saw none other than Megatron's Idithil actually just made up the most epic damage coming in, the highest damage as well, to be exact, to be just pointed out. And yes, with that, the Idithil is actually carrying out the game. But yes, with
Yeah,
that coming onto the ban list, if they do not want to take it off, or if you want to just ban off, don't want to give your opponents whoever gets the first pick. But yes, with this, the predictions would be Idithil, Esmeralda, and maybe a Hylos, because both the games Hylos was there.
yeah, speaking of Hylas as well as the Irithel, I do believe Vices was a curse onto the series, but whichever team who got the Vices as not the Vices, whichever team who got the Hylos as well as the Irithel just won it out. So maybe they will be trying to prioritize the Vices before the other team does, or maybe they will be just be putting both of these heroes onto the ban section. We never know with before we witness the action. On to the third game. I do hope the productions as well as our referees, they are doing pretty good job, and I believe they will be starting the third match as soon as possible. So I would like to, you know, ask all of the viewers to be patient, and hopefully we will be witnessing the draft picks as soon as possible.
Yep, definitely. We'll be on towards the draft in just a few seconds. Don't go anywhere, guys. Grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and sit tight on your seat as this game is going to be the tiebreaker. The team who wins will be following on towards the grand finals, and the team who loses will be eliminated. So, yes, it is going to be the most stressful game that they can ever think of. And the stressfulness actually makes diamonds, like you say, right? Pressure makes diamonds out of gold. So, yes, it can actually work out here as well. Both the teams can just make out a diamond out of them with the gameplay that they will be producing on this match here, because the tiebreaker, the stressful matchup, we say, even the pros team actually just makes mistakes as the stress just comes by, but the team who actually makes out for those stress just comes out of those stress, makes out the calm gameplays, can actually lead up to the victory as well. So yeah, it's about which team actually makes the wise decision rather than going for the pure instinct type of gameplays here.
Definitely, and looking at both of the previous games, I think early game wise, Team Shadow Esports did had the control onto the second game, but as the game was progressing, the turtle skirmish was so much. They were focused so much onto the skirmish that they forgot the fact that they could have been prioritizing onto the objectives, and that was one of the reasons why Panda was able to mark on onto the vices. And as soon as it happened, the second turtle was taken down, and they decided to just go out for the Lord and end the game as soon as possible. But the wait is finally over, and here we are on to the third game for the night. The final game it will be for the series. Will it be Team Megatron Codepricity, or will it be Team Shadow Esports going on to the lower bracket finals? Single elimination, a do or die. Here we are onto the banning phase. Bane as well as the Nathan getting banned out. We are not going to be seeing a Nathan onto the series completely. Bane was picked onto the first game. It was, it didn't work out for the side of Team Megatron, but they won't be taking the risk that they will be handing out the Bane onto the hands of Team Shadow Esports as well.
Yep, definitely. Now that I think about it, the bans are quite fixed onto us that Bane, Nathan, and Gatot Kacha. Because the second and this is the third game I'm seeing Gatot Kacha being banned off. And for the Bane though, the first game was there but quite not able to make it out. And Nathan though, he is there on the ban list ever since the first game. My oh my, I feel bad for my guy there. Nathan, you just came in the meta, man, and you were straight off in the ban list. I feel bad for you, my guy. But yes, talking about Nathan, though, there are a lot of mages open, but no, it's going to be the Borg being taken down from Shadow Esports. Nova, wait, Shadow Esports Nova, they definitely have some beef with that fire cooking guy, you know.
Definitely, and one thing could be Team Shadow Esports or maybe Team Megatron Code Apricity. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they try to prioritize the CC once again. If they are banning out the export, there is a high chances that CC would be picked. But for the side of Team Shadow Esports, they did pick out the CC before, but it was the Erithel somehow who had more of an advantage when the scale, like when the game scaled up onto the late game. Once the Erithel's itemizations were done, so Megatron Code Apricity, they will be completing the draft with a Kimmy mid ban as well. Both games Kimmy was open. She was picked out, but for the third game she is banned.
hmm Exactly. I mean, the first and the second game, Kimi actually played out a huge role in giving out those sets here because the attraction pulse actually disrupts your formation, and that can actually lead up to you being isolated from your teammates and you being taken down. So, yes, Kimi can be taken down because they do not want to pick it off, though, because Megatron had the first pick, but they still don't want. And look at that, my predictions were right.
Oh,
It is still in the ban list.
yeah, definitely. We are seeing an Irithel this time finally on to the banning phase. But you know what? Hylos is still open. So maybe one of the teams they might be trying to prioritize the Hylos. The first pick, Hylos, it is kind of risky. It is dicey, but I believe they will be trying to prioritize the high loss later on to the banning, on to the picking phase. And Megatron Code Apricity having the first pick advantage. Actually, a lot of heroes are still open, which could be the first pick priority. And once again, Team Megatron will be the one actually who will be prioritizing the CC onto the hands. Now that the Erithel is banned out, okay, just go out for the CC.
Exactly. CC being picked off, and it will leave out the question once again if CC would like to go on the gold lane or on the EXP because both the lanes, she is usually a really dominant type of heroes. But against a marksman, though, a CC, I'm not a big fan of CC against a marksman because the range actually gives out a really big of a disadvantage for CC. But yeah, she can cover it up with the second skill. But for how long though? Because a marksman, if they pick up a marksman with a mobility like Moskov with the first skill who can just reposition himself and just actually dominate the lanes. And yes, with talking about the dominance though, they have the EXP laner dominance, which is going to be CC, but gold lane. It depends on how which EXP or which gold lane at the side picks on towards the Shadow Esports. And talking about Shadow Esports, they come in, pick off none other than Yeef and the allies here. But what do you say about Yeef and allies here, Itami?
Yeah, both are setup kind of heroes for me. Alice with the ultimate, she can do the setup as well as the crowd control would be there. And Eve, of course, with the real world manipulation if it is acquired on time. Eve actually works out really well if the enemy has a tanky kind of a composition for their side. And first pick prioritizing the CC, they might be expecting a tanky kind of a lineup, which would be coming off for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity, but it will all depend once we see out the draft. Oh my goodness. Onto the series, I haven't seen the Carmilla and the carry. So, yep, a CCEXP with a carry gold. It is okay against an Alice. It is going to be working. The carry would be working, but she will be coming over the vengeance. If she comes up with the blade armor as well, the carry could be having quite hard of a time. And this time around, Team Megatron Code Apricity, they are relying more on to their comfort.
Exactly. It is actually going to be the comfort which will be the most variable pick here because if you don't go for your comfort, you go for your flex pick and you are not really comfortable with that hero, it can actually give you a disadvantage. But yeah, talking about the disadvantage though, right now, Shadow Esports are at a disadvantage because Kimi, or not Kimi, but it is going to be Carry following up with the Curse of Blood on towards the Carmilla, which can give out a huge combo here. Just imagine a three-man set from a Curse of Blood and following up none other than
Oh,
Carry the.
wow.
Oh, boundary it off, Ixia. I'm not usually seeing Ixia on the tournament series, but this is the first time. Look at that, Itami.
I actually did see Ixia yesterday. It was on MPLPH. I think it was Aurora who picked it up against TLPH.
Right.
And Ixia, once she is able to spam the full barrage, and if you have a composition which could be initiating the team fights like the Alice and the Eve, the Ixia is going to be working. But the thing, the most crucial part, it is going to be the positioning for that Ixia. Considering the fact the carry has already been picked out, I think Ixia is a really good pick here, but it's all on to the execution. And I think, Iksha, if she is able to get the core items, most probably she will be, going out for the corrosion and completing the sea halberd as soon as possible. She can even go out with the sky piercer too, to just, finish the job with the 4% HP that the enemy heroes are trying to have and trying to escape. They won't be able to do so once she gets the sky piercer. But they are banning out a diggy. Maybe they are cooking up something else here.
Mm, I mean, talking about it though, I mean, Kadita being taken off, wait, don't call it Biggie and Angela being taken off. My oh my, they do not want their Karmi's combo to be picked off and on the side of Shadow Esports. So I think they are planning for another YSS game, maybe. Not for sure about it, but they can also go, no, not a tanky anymore. There is a carry. They need to burst her down, and to burst her down, only have which needs some itemizations. But check that the Hayabusa is picked off. But what do you say about it,
Haya has been banned. So yeah, most probably Vices was more of a curse, like we already discussed onto the previous two games, but maybe they might be proving us wrong, like the Aemon pick before. Aemon, we were not expecting the Aemon to work out, but it's all onto the user, and Panda was able to execute it quite well. Wow. I love the fact that these girls are going all out onto the assassins as well. And this
Tommy?
time it is going to be the Ling coming up. I haven't seen Ling for quite a while onto the tournaments actually.
Exactly. The other I think about it, a link can kind of work out, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan because he requires those item scalings, and the item scalings can be disrupted at the same time if he gets invaded. But yeah, talking about the items though, comes in none other than the Zushi, and oh my, I can hear Ray. I can just see Ray's bright smile up to here. Itami.
Yeah.
Ray, I can see your smile, bro. Chill out a little bit. I can see the Zushin, but yeah, look at that. Though, what do you think the last pick from the side of Megatron will be, Itami?
Oh, once again, Anemon. Okay, they decided to just go out for the comfort, and it worked out pretty well onto the second game against a Ling. Okay, the Templates of Blades. Once he is casting the Templates of Blades, I believe he will be able to cancel out the shards, but it's going to be depending upon the timing as well. Shadow Esports Novas have the final pick for their side, and EXP Alice most probably with a roam getting combined. So maybe a healer. They can be coming up with a roamer that will be giving out the heals, or maybe a playmaker kind of a tank, like a kind of a tank that could be the frontliner as well as making the sets for the side of a team. But I believe even a healer works at this point. But Ixia will be requiring someone who will be able to tank out the damage, and there you go, the Hylos is getting picked out. Three times onto the series, Hylos has been picked. Two times it was the Hylos. Whichever team had the Hylos got the win. So the draft, it looks pretty solid.
I mean, it was Yishin who was with the curse and Hylos with the blessings. So yeah, this time Shadow Esports picked off the best thing, which is going to be the Hylos. And with that, it is going to be Zushin though, which will be disrupting the Hylos formation and the tankiness coming in from Shadow Esports R2, while the side of Team Megatron, they have one, but CC can sometimes take on damage, but at the same time she will be melted down. But what do you say about it, Tommy?
Yeah, the CC could be, could be the sustain, but I believe in terms of sustain, they don't have that kind of a sustainability except for the Carmilla as well as the CC. They both can acquire the vengeance spell, but against whom? Against Anixia? That is going to be one of the main questions. The Carmilla can also go out with the Petrify for, using the Curse of Blood as well as combining it with the Petrify, and maybe even with a Flicker to catch them off guard. But the
Moba
CC,
Legends.
she is most probably going on to the vengeance.
5
And here
seconds
we
till the
are on
enemy
to the
reaches the
final game for the
battlefield.
night, the final
Smash them!
game on this series. Shadow
All troops
Esports going
deployed!
up against Team Megatron Code City. Here we are on to the third game.
Yep, we are on towards the third game, the tiebreaker, the most intense game that everybody was anticipating for. And yes, we are in this with the side of Team Megatron, Apricity on towards the blue, and Shadow Esports Novas on towards the red team. with none other than the drafts being completed and the junglers being assassins, and it is all about the timings. Now, who wins the timings will win this match, and with that, we can already see Luna being dominated by Caesar's passive here, which is actually really annoying. I'll be saying the way she gets the healing though, but oh, Lito wants another battle. Nope, it's not going to be enough for now. But onto the bot lane, we can already see it is being dominated, and Lito falls on the hands of Clara. But yeah, with this, once again, the same question is happening. Who do you think the first player will belong to?
Oh, okay. Oh my God,
Oh,
no!
yeah.
Lona Bay might just go back one hit away, but that is the carry having a disadvantage against the Ixia. Oh no, Clara might be able to gank it up, but Clara will be missing it out. What a clutch outplay from Luna. Yeah, it is Luna Bay, and Luna Bay with the clutch, getting the jungler before the turtle. Definitely a win trade, considering the fact Ling is heavily reliant onto the blue buff.
My
Wow.
The way we saw Clara just miss the combo, though, that was not a good thing because it's not what you see every day, because Luna Bay survives with that flick at the same time. You can see that actually being dragged down with the combo is not good enough because the turtle will be spawning off. Clara not level 4 yet. I mean, it was the Blaze which was missed off, and the ult was not there for Clara, but she decided to go in for the Rexless engage, and she was punished for it. And we can see engage with 10 already dropped really low, will be forced to recall, and with that, she won't be able to contest the turtle, but she still decides to go in for because there is a lot of what do we call it, zoning coming in from the side of Team Megatron, but with that, Luna Bay again being marked on the Tempest. My oh my.
Yeah, Panda just gets the turtle. Megatron, they actually had a good head start considering the flag. Clara just fell down onto the process. There is the initiation as well as the RWM comes up.
Yep, RWM already coming up. With that, we can see the all as well coming in from our Sung Sung here as Henny will be dropped really low, will be forced to be backing off with Sung Sung being forced to be backing off. But with that, no more, what do we call it? The body is being dropped down, but it is going to be the purple buff being taken off our lane here, and she won't be able to confirm any more Tempest Blade combos. My oh my, Shadow Esports are dropped really back down now.
Yeah, after picking up a Ling, the one thing you would try to avoid is getting your blue buff invaded as well as taken, because Ling, he contributes a lot onto the team fights, and if it's the blue buff getting taken down, then he won't be able to do as much as he does when he has the purple buff. And that is the one thing Megatron Code Opacity is making sure not getting the link. His blue buff is going to be one of the crucial objectives. And speaking of objectives, they already got the turtle onto their hands, so the goal advantage is onto their side. And the Ixia has the first it is not the Ixia, it is the carry who has the first kill. Speaking of kills, there is the initiation.
Oh, yep, comes in none other than the Curse of Blood, though catching two people, but it's not going to be enough because the Blood Spot will be surviving, and with that, the real installation already being popped up, then dropped really low, though she will be forced to be backing up, but she does not want to. Heaney comes in, and it's going to be Sung Sung coming in, but it is the Ling who will be coming in, hopping on the wall, though, but Saza getting the kill onto it, 10 comes in, Tempest Blade, but it's not going to be enough because we can see Luna Bay actually surviving all the time against that Ling. Wait, Clara and Luna Bay, they're actually having the most funniest quarrel I'll be seeing, though. The way Ling is trying to take down Luna Bay, but Luna Bay is just surviving all the time. My oh my. But yes, with this Panda actually coming in, Rue in a bad position though because she does not have any skips for now, but it's going to be Cesar.
Oh, wow.
Flickering the wrong timing, and she will be punished for that flicker waste as well. My oh my, Panda just showing off that Amon can be a really wise pick as well. But wait, Gummy Worm actually just running around, does not care much about it with that Yo-Yo, and Clara actually trying to do a lot but not enough for now. But with that comes in and it is though with the Alice, but not enough for now because it is going to be the disengage coming in from our Megatron Code Appreciate with the turtle already spawning up, and we can see the junglers moving on towards it. But no, Clara actually jumping on towards the wall, though Gummy War might be marked down, but it's going to be Sung Sung coming in really ahead, but not enough for now. But it is going to be Heaney who will be picked off with the Lantern Flare, which is going to be the really wise move because Lantern Flare will be giving out a lot of trouble for a Heaney because she is a tank, and she won't be able to do much. But with that, we can see none other than the side of Team Megatron Code Appreciate just running around on towards the side of Team Shadow Esports jungle, not caring much about it, with Panda trying to go in for the starting of the role, does not have the purple buff on his hands right now. But with that, Luna Bay will be securing the mid lane in her first year, but no, comes in late, not enough for now with the curse blood missing on towards nobody, but Clara actually using off the blaze really wisely. But with that, Panda securing the turtle, and my oh my, top lane first here will be traded off for that. And but with that,
Oh,
will be being taken down by RCC though. My oh my, this is a never-ending brawl that we are seeing right now. But with that, the mid lane inhibitor as well taken down, and Shadow Esports dropped really though again with the trace being taken down and Iris being picked off from the ground down the grave from towards Arzushian. And with that, they are going in for another engage. Nope, they will be going back for now. And look at that, Itami.
yeah, engage after engages, but still it is Team Megatron Code Apricity who are having the advantage despite of the fact the top tower was taken. Carrie is still able to find a trade and she is able to acquire one of the towers for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity as well. And I think, the head start, as soon as Clara fell off onto the process, trying to take the Golina down, it was one of the things like that was one of the head starts for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity. But there might be the engage, and they are making sure the blue buff is not getting taken down from the hands of the Ling. He won't be able to engage as well. But speaking of engage, there is the fight.
Oh, yep, comes in. Glorious part of the drill installation. The way that Curse of Blood actually connecting onto a three people. Haney taken down by the shots. Iris will be forced to be backing off with the first kill teleporting around. And with that, Sung Sung actually running around. But it is not going to be enough for now. As we can see, the side of Megatron Code Apricity having the much more preferable time with the 5-2-1 trade already on their hands and the turrets as well on towards the lead on Megatron Code Apricity.
Yup, Megatron, they are just extending out the goal lead, and it's almost over 5k. So, once the Curse of Blood lands, the carry could also be a really good combination considering the fact she is heavily reliant on those basic attacks. And look at the Alice already low on HP, using the flicker, and Luna Bay is able to get a kill onto Iris, and there might be another team fights coming up. Jeff.
Yep, coming in, none other than Luna. They actually in the number is going to be the land that has been topped up with the barrage as well, coming in on towards our Asia, but it's not enough to see that will be surviving, but we will be taken down by Gummy Worm. And with that, we can see the turtle as well, not the turtle, but the mid lane actually having, not mid lane, but the bot lane. My oh my, what am I saying? But with that, we can see that drop really low, and it is going to be none other than the Gummy Worm going in. And with that, Heaney as well taken down by Luna, but the turtle will be falling on towards the hands of Ling or Clara. But with that, Tempest Blade cancelling out the shots, but it's not going to be enough.
Oh,
Because
wow.
will be coming in on towards the Panda, and with that, we can see none other than Megatron Code Apricity securing a seed there. I can just see that as long as Shadow Esports does not make out a miracle play here.
Wow, that was an epic outplay. Like, the what do you call it? The notification says that as well. Once we are on to the ranks as well as the classic, but we are not able to see it here because it is a tournament. But definitely an epic outplay coming up from Panda, going up against a Clara. But still, it was a 3-for-2 trade for the side, favorable for the side of Team Megatron Code Apricity once again. So Jushin actually getting the Sky Piercer for her side. It is going to be coming up quite handy when the game extends on to the late. And they do have that tanky kind of a composition as well. Using the glorious pathway, trying to escape, but Gummy Worm gets the kill. Full barrage being loaded out, but the damage is still not going to be enough. Look at Gummy Worm just going in, trying to make that engage once again. Sung Sung gets the kill onto Drew. And once the Alice is trying to engage it out, but they won't be able to do so. Instead, Megatron Code Apricity, they will be prioritizing the objective, and that is going to be the tier 2 tower going down with a 2-for-0 trade. And I think, once the Lord has already been up, Megatron Code Apricity, they are already having the advantage when it comes up onto the map awareness as well as the map vision. So there is the full barrage once again.
Yep, Barrage comes in, catching two people. The worst is going to be the land of catching Stendo. It was a back off in the sand, but the glorious part being popped up, catching two people. With the Panda coming in, a clutch combo might be coming in. The set comes in though with a little manipulation. Luna be actually in a really good position. Gets our double kill onto her hand, and with that we can see the mid lane second tier as well dropped down. The bot lane already really low, can be considered destroyed itself, and with that the Lord will be falling on the hands of Team Megatron because the side of Team Shadow Esports, they do not have the main damage dealer. At the same time, they do not have Haney to be frontlining, and with that we can see our before that Alice though will be picked off from the ground, drop the grave, and we can see none other than our gummy worm harassing Rue as well, and it might be a kill, but no, it's going to be the flicker out, and with that, the Lord being secured by Luna Bay. Clara in a bad position, might be taken down, but no, Panda is not there for now, and it is going to be the second skill will be saving his life, but no, it's going to be the Tempest Blade comes in, our Panda will be coming in, but not enough for now. It was none other than our Zushin who will be forced to be retreating, though, since if she would have stayed there a little longer, she would have died. But look at that, Itami, the Lord secured the game as well, looking a really one-sided for now as well.
Yeah, and one of the most important factors, Team Shadow Esports Novas, when they were committing onto that team fight, a lot of spells were baited out. So this Lord defense is definitely going to be tough. It is only the inhibitor towers remaining. So I think the lane sinking is quite up as well, but how well they will be able to defend it, it will be depending upon how well that Alice as well as the Hylos will try to engage as well. But the problem is the Carmilla. Even if they came up onto a same position, if the Curse of Blood lands, the carry will be getting the job done. And there you go onto the top side. There is the Curse of Blood.
Three people, Curse of Blood comes in with the Glorious Path being popped up, but the barrage will be here, the Wither installation, but not enough for now because it's not going to be enough since Haney will be dropped down by our Zushin, but it is going to be Lunaby who will be finally shut down by our Clara, and with that Tempest Blade coming in, but Panda securing the mega kill on his hands, 3 people standing against 4 people, but then already dropped really low with a lot of resources being burned down from the side of Megatron, and with that, I guess the side of Team Shadow Esports will be living to see another sunrise, and with that, Gummy Worm trying to harass, but she will be forced to be backing off, and with that, it is going to be another sunlight for our Shadow Esports.
Yeah, it's only the one inhibitor going, and somehow they were able to defend it out thanks to that full barrage of the Ixia. Actually, Ixia actually shines a lot when it comes to the base defenses, most probably. And if she is, fully itemized, she can be quite of a nuisance, even if she doesn't have that much kills, as well as she is onto a feeding kind of a position. But still, I think Team Shadow Megatron for City might be trying to come up with the engage once again because of the.
Yep, the Curse of Blood comes in with the barrage, though, with the real installation being popped up as well, but not enough because the Curse of Blood was there and is going to be disengaged. But here comes
Oh
none
my
other than
god!
the shards, the max level shards, just taking down none other than the Ixia down her grave. My oh my, he just pierced her through every single part of her body, and that was a GG. I mean, just imagine you getting shredded by that shard, you will not even be existing there. But yes, with that, the mid lane inhibitor in a bad position comes in. Gummy Worm, though, catching 2 people with the lander, but with the yo-yo, though, but it's not going to be enough because it's going to be Clara who will be getting down as well. With that, we can see something getting double kill on her hands, and with that, the next is being marked down. Megatron appreciably securing the base, securing the law, securing the game as well, and it is going to be the reverse sweep coming in from Megatron. My oh my, they deserve this victory, I'll be saying, the way they executed the gameplay though, Itsami.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, the high loss, blessings will not be acquiring for this game. And it will be Team Megatron Codaplicity coming up with a comeback, a reverse sweep, and an absolutely dominating performance. On to the third game. They didn't just won the match, they made a statement right here. And, I actually would be rooting for this team when they go out for the lower brackets finals as well. But anyways, looking at the results and looking at the final stats, I think execution wise, Team Megatron Code Apricity, they did a lot, and the Carmilla as well as the carry combination. Clara, firstly, when she tried to gang on onto that carry, that clutch as well as the sidestep that came for her, that was one of the most crucial steps in my opinion, because after that, Clara was not able to take out her purple buff. She was getting invaded, and they did make sure that Ling is not able to farm up to the point that Clara will be making out the trouble, because we already saw her onto the Hayabusa how menacing she was, and they did make sure they need to mark out the jungler first. And for this game, they executed it really perfectly. So a deserving victory, I would say.
Yep, definitely. Shadow Team SD, yes, they definitely tried. The first game was an outshine game, but the second and the third game, my oh my, Megatron, you guys definitely deserve the victory. And with this, you guys will be following up onto the grand finals of the lower bracket. But yes, with this, guys, this was the last game of the night. You guys will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Don't go anywhere though, as you guys will be coming back here. I mean, you guys can go back, eat your dinner and stuff. But yes, with this, we'll have to end the stream. And the cast is like, it's none other than your homeboy Jeff coming alongside me. It's Amy taking a short break. You guys are watching the Queen's Legacy series, and with this, peace out.